Hello and welcome to the Cobalt Cafe. I'm Colin, tonight's GM, and you're listening to Star Trek Pathfinder. Joining us tonight in alphabetical order by Discord name is Daniel.
Hi, this is Daniel, and I'm playing Tesora, the paleo astronomer Vulcan.
And Everoth.
Hello, I am playing Captain Eversoul, here in your medical department, ready in case you need me.
And Tara.
Hey, it's me, Atera. That's all.
And Tom. Tom.
Hey, this is Tom. I play Commander Vivek, the Chief Engineer.
Joining us a little later will be James, who plays the First Officer, Commander Tanjat, but we are going to start without him. So, let's begin.
All right. Stardate 60470.6. The agricultural planet of Europe 3, which we recently helped overcome a triple infestation, has asked for the Federation for emergency aid to help rebuild their agricultural infrastructure. Because of our previous relations with the planet, Admiral Singh has asked us to put our survey mission on hold and travel to Tratado Station in the Punal system to receive the supplies.
Okay, so you guys have heard about Tratado Station a couple of times, but this is the first time that you have visited. I better throw this picture up for you all to see. It's big, so apologies in advance. So Tratado Station is not in the orbit of any planet, so just sort of ignore the fact that this picture is. This is just the best picture I could find. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit so I can throw the attribution up on my screen.
After it finishes loading.
Oh yeah, probably. Okay, so Tratado Station. Okay, we'll talk about the Punal system in general first. So the Punal system has several planets and a lot of naturally occurring dilithium. It's also kind of interesting in that it has two planets that share an orbit, but they are in like antipodal orbits around the star, meaning that one planet is always in the what you call a Lagrange point on the other side of the star, so neither can see the other, but both are M-class and inhabited. So originally, life started on Punal 2. I guess now we will call it Punal 2-A because they're both the second planet from the sun. So life started there or evolved there, and they were eventually able to colonize the other planet after, discovering it. And the space station was originally built to sort of operate as a halfway point between those two planets. Originally for communication, and then as a way station for ships traveling between the two. And then when they discovered warp travel and exactly how awesome dilithium is, and were able to start mining it, they expanded the station again to sort of, it houses refineries and shipping. And then when they entered the galactic market, the station grew exponentially and kind of organically. So it wasn't all built at one time. It was just added on and added on as they found, oh, now we need storage for cargo, and docking space for starships. And now it is quite big. It has berthing for several starships of up to scale 5. So, anything up to a Galaxy class can dock right to it. So it's a couple of orders of magnitude bigger in volume than Deep Space Nine. And it sort of acts as the unofficial trade hub for the entire... it's bigger than a sector, but it like sort of the the border between the Alpha Quadrant and Federation space is like this is the place. However, in the last few decades, relations between the two planets have deteriorated, and while they're not at war, they are competing for a lot of business, and so the station is now it's kind of the only place that they cooperate, because it contributes it's a huge share of both planets' GDP. So each side has a couple of administrators. Neither side has complete control of the station. And each side also has a number of docks and berths that are just for them, and they don't allow people from other areas, including, or I guess especially, the other planet on board. Security is handled by a third party, like a company that's been contracted, and no locals are allowed to work on the security team, specifically so that the station can remain as neutral as possible. Any questions so far?
Nope, not that I can think of.
Do we know any? Are they? I forget. Are they the same species?
They are the same species. I guess we'll call them Punalians because they come from the Punal system.
Mm-hmm.
They split off, or not genetically split off, but their cultures kind of split a century and a half-ish ago, and over time, relations have degraded.
And one of them was like OG, and the other one was colonists.
Exactly.
Okay. What is the? I mean, we may find this out later, but in terms of the briefing, like, what is the sort of? You said neither of them have the upper hand at this point.
Not at the station. The station, they actually cooperate. They have. This is the only place they have good relations because the space station is so important to them financially.
Do we know what their beef is over?
I mean, it started being over, colony rights, or the fact that, like, a lot of the people that left Punal 2A, I guess, did it because they were already sort of dissatisfied with the status quo or the government, and then as they were living apart, those beefs kind of grow over time and are handed down from generation to generation. So it's not any one thing, but I mean, think about the degradation of the New World in America.
Right.
So like, yeah, so Punal 2A. God, we got to come up with better names for these planets. But the OG world, as you put it, still counts the second world, the colony world, as one of their like protectorates or something.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hone in on. So, like, there is almost a sovereignty dispute.
China and Taiwan.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
So the Federation rents space on the station. So this is where Admiral Singh has his offices set up for the area. So they also have like 2 dry docks for ships for both repairs and the loading and offloading of whatever you might need.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he also sort of operates as an unofficial embassy for the Federation. There is no ambassador, but that has been something that's been discussed. The Federation has ties to, or I guess, like the area of the station that they rent is from the OG planet, so they have diplomatic relations with them.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a place that we will be visiting frequently. Just because this is a
The Citadel.
yeah, kind of. You know, it's kind of a quest hub. So,
Cool.
I just wanted to take a few minutes here at the beginning before we really dive into things to talk about what sort of places you guys would like to see in a place like this that you may want to visit. And this could include NPCs or, you know, interesting locations or, you know, whatever.
Hmm. So I'm trying to think like what sort of things can be found on a station that you can't find on a ship. And then the first thing is coming to mind, like we already have kind of like a cafe, you know what I mean? But I wonder, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is like kind of R&R because that's kind of the one thing that you wouldn't find on a ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so something like quirks, you know.
Yes. Okay, so we definitely want a bar because you can't get real booze on a ship anyway. At least not easily.
I would. Oh,
Go ahead.
I would personally like to have if possible, information broker.
Information broker. Okay, I like that.
Like that because my espionage background would probably maybe I have a contact here or something. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm getting two lists here. One is a bar and one is an information broker. In addition to the bar, something that they talk about in Quarks but we don't see very often, was hollow suites.
Yeah, I was about to say we need those.
So I
Well,
think
don't we have decks on our ship?
I think you have a holodeck on your ship, but hollow suites are sort of the kind of places that you can go, especially, you know, it's like, well, don't you have computer games at home? Yeah, but I want to go to an arcade.
And also no questions asked.
Exactly. And plus, I mean, you can program whatever you want, but there is also this trade in like hollow suite programs. So, you know, you go there and you pick from basically a menu of like, oh my god, I want to go sledding down the side of Olympus Mons, sure, and you know, so that's part of what's available, I think. All
I
right.
would actually be curious to see like some sort of performance venue, like if the oh god, what do you call them? The can we type in what they're called? The Punali?
Oh, the Penalians. Yes. Okay. So the name of the
Punali.
station is Penal.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be curious to see if they have like some sort of culture, theatrical culture, you know what I mean? Live music performance um, or maybe like, I mean, this is like you said, this is a regional hub, so it would actually be a good place to learn about not just the Polalians, but anybody who's similarly using this station as a kind of
Yeah.
galactic urban, you know what I mean?
So it's gonna be like a vaudeville or what do you call it? Cabaret.
Mhm.
Oh, neat.
I like that a lot. Okay. So you got a lot of R&R here. I mean, it's not like you really need um places to buy things because with replicators you can usually make whatever you want, although there are some things that you know you just can't replicate, like, you know, Tholian silk or whatever it might be. There are shops, but I don't think we have to specify exactly what kinds of shops are out there. So I'm just going to add in other important places real quick, and that's going to be Federation offices. And that eventually will morph into sort of a more legitimate embassy or at least consulate. So there's a security office, just in case you guys fuck around. What else? I guess there's station administration.
Oh, can I throw something in?
Yes, please.
Some kind of stadium. I want to know, maybe it's not even here, but maybe they have transporters to some place on the planet. But if these two cultures really have that much beef, I want to know if they have some kind of sport that they have like hooligan rivalries over. You know what I mean?
Given the nature of like the trade hub, I think there's a lot of different sports that people can play there.
Yeah, but I mean historically, the one that is key to the Punalians, you know.
Okay. Oh, okay. So maybe, yeah. So if you want to play whatever Parisi Squares, you can get a holosuite and do that. But they have a physical location for their one sport.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
And if it could be pod racing, but
what is it? Let's just pick some sci-fi
what's their
words.
deal? What's as a species like? What's their shtick? First of all, is this a canon species?
It is not at all a canon species.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Do they have any special abilities? Are they warlike, telepathic, diplomatic, intelligent? Whatever.
No, they are. I mean, I haven't fleshed them out much at all beyond the sort of the history of their people. So I guess in my head they were the generic humans, but with different physical features. Yeah. So
humans with weird noses.
yeah. So let's see. They're not warlike. I mean, the fact that they were able to gain this foothold in this region of the galaxy kind of lends itself to the idea that they are probably very shrewd business people, or at least good at recognizing when there is a need and being able to fix it or fit into it. So what does that say? They're strategic thinkers.
Interesting.
So chess is their national sport. No, it's got to be about positioning and planning ahead.
Monopoly?
That's more of a Ferengi game.
Oh God.
Just give it a silly name and come up with the rules later.
Yeah. So we need a sci-fi name for this that like
Crack.
Well, no, because it needs to have a word that we recognize too, like Parisi Squares, but the but it's a sport, so
Hopscotch?
What about some kind of like 0G like bocce ball?
Zenline or
ooh,
Zemeline.
Like it's all 3D, but you have to kind of ricochet things off of walls, and maybe there's something in the middle.
Yeah, okay. So it's almost like a cross between curling and bocce because positioning is super important.
Or like billiards, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just something. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Zenma lines.
I got it down. All right, let's fill in a couple more people. So the information broker, we can fill him out when he first shows up, but does anybody have any objections to him being Ferengi?
No, not at all.
Because that's the instant Tara said that. That's all I could think of.
Sure.
All right, security chief. It's got to be. It can't be Punalian because they intentionally do not hire Punalians for security. What
Wait, who does not hire Punalians for security?
the station? Because
Is there
they
a
don't
particular
want
reason?
security
because
to
they're trying
have
to be
skin in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
A rough and tumble extradited, or a rough and tumble whose family was shamed out of the Union Romulan.
Okay.
Let's make her lady. Because you know how the Romulans like to play those family games of stupidness.
Okay. Anybody else of note on the station? Oh, you know what there is? The Rapu Consortium has a administrator, I guess, or somebody. You know, they rent dock space, and so they have a representative on board. We'll call him a trade rep. So Rapu Consortium is registered in Orion. They had an Orion ship, but they have close ties with the Breen, and the one captain you've met was Ferengi. So, who is their local representative?
I mean, Brain are always fun.
They are always fun, but they don't seem like the type who would make good, shady businessmen. They're very militaristic. Let's pick another weird race. Alpha Quadrant species.
We could go. A Trill, or because they're not all Federation involved. We could do. Who else?
I'm okay with the Trill.
Yeah, how about Trill?
Okay.
I mean, probably
joined or
not
unjoined?
joined, but
Yeah, okay.
probably
Unjoined.
not joined.
A male or female?
Roll a dice. Let's roll a dice. Evens female.
All right, it's a male. All right, and we can add. This is the kind of location that, since you're gonna be bouncing back here from time to time, you will, this station should grow as a location kind of on its own.
Okay, I'm down to start.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just kind of trying to kill some time in the hopes that James would show up.
He's still in the shower.
Oh, but he's in the shower. Okay. So then, let me tell you what's been going on in the last 5 or 6 days. So after combat, you guys were, called immediately back to the station. 37 days without a serious diplomatic incident. Okay. So after, so you guys traveled to the station, and were told to dock. And then all of the officers were given what I'm gonna call an enforced leave, meaning that all of your characters, with the exception of Tanjat, were given quarters, kind of like hotel rooms, on the station, and given a week to a week away from the ship to explore Tratado Station, and also to not be on the ship, which is probably a little strange, but the orders from the admiral were fairly clear.
What justification? What excuse did they give?
Part of it was the fact that they thought that after combat, the ship needed to be checked, since it was a prototype and that was the first time the spinal phaser lands had been used in combat. Also, they were loading the relief supplies for Europe 3. And, just for, I guess, morale reasons, they thought that maybe the officers could use some leave before going back out. Since
Could
you
I
guys
do?
have been at it over a month without any kind of break.
Could I dig a little deeper and see if there's other reasons, real quick?
Yeah,
Just simple.
absolutely.
What would this be? Investigation, espionage.
Yeah, let's
Infiltration?
do Insight Command to sort of get this out with espionage as your focus.
All right, and it doesn't matter what the difficulty is because
Oh, yeah. You'll always know what the difficulty is, but I may not always remember to tell you. In this particular case, not a lot of people actually know if there's any other reason, so I'm going to give you a difficulty of 3.
3. All right, but there's no things in the dice pool, so I'm just gonna have to roll under a 4 on one of these. Boop. Nope, that's not a. I don't know.
That's weird, because it looked like one of them was a 20, but they came up as 17 and 14.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, that's only that's actually 0 successes.
That is 0
Anyway.
successes, yeah. So you have your suspicions that there's perhaps another reason why, but you don't get any sort of confirmation on that.
I'm
However-
pissy about the whole ordeal.
Yeah, your wife is super excited to be able to get off of the ship and explore the station. There's nobody has told you or ordered you not to hang out together. So in a week, do you guys spend your time together, exclusively alone? Is it a mix?
I get the feeling I'm not very well liked, so I probably don't see much of other people.
Okay.
Correct me if I am wrong.
I mean, I don't mind you, but everybody else seems to.
I think I don't know. Yeah, I think Tesora's probably been on her own. You know what? Actually, she's living it up. You see her actually maybe relaxing a little bit better than most people. She's been gambling at the what do you call the sport? At the because she's fascinated by that whole thing because it's very kind of mathematical. There's a lot of angles to it.
Okay. Zema lines is what we called it.
Zema lines. Yeah, she's been observing that a lot. Just because it kind of tweaks her curiosity. She's been doing one of those like spa treatments, like full on cucumber on the eyes.
Awesome. They do it inside of a holodeck, but it is like real cucumber
Cool.
things.
Nice.
So yeah, you basically your mud bath is in a mud pit in the middle of a beautiful forest with birds chirping.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what she's been needing.
All right.
Welcome.
Vivek?
I'd probably be looking, for maybe studying how the station's put together, and kind of learning some of the engineering of it. I'm fascinated by everything, so I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, so
new tech.
it runs pretty well. I mean, there's no big innovations, but you're actually pretty impressed with how they've built the station on top of the station on top of the station.
Yeah.
And so it's there's obviously, it's almost like when you go to a certain like a cut in the side of a mountain or something, and you can see the different geological layers.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go back and oh man, so it looks like about 120 years ago, you guys were only using, plasma conduits or, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Ever, what were you doing in the last week?
Would I be able to find a biological facility, a zoo, or a genetical facility or laboratory of any sort?
Um, I mean, there's probably a hospital that has some of those capabilities because they serve multiple species and people that come in on ships.
Perfect.
But there's not probably not a lab if that makes sense.
Hospital would be great. I'll drop by and see if they have any interesting new research information or they need any help that he can assist.
Um, I mean, they could always use some help. It almost operates as like a free clinic. The station subsidizes it, and there's a couple of doctors that spend time there. But like I said, they're it's sort of an afterthought. So there's not a lot of funding, and so they'll take your help if you want to work for a week.
He'll
And you're
head to the emergency room and take on the ones that look most critical and take them away from that area. Just give him the treatment that he can. Bring up something from the ship, something he can spare that is not vital to the crew, that they can replicate in abundance.
I love it. Okay. While you guys are
Hey, James is here.
yes,
In case you did hear him come in.
I saw him come in.
Okay.
So while you guys are on vacation for a week, Tanjot.
I
Oh,
never
go ahead.
answered your question. Um, I think we will have been the wife and I will have been playing on and off in their holo suites if possible. I don't know how to pronounce this. Kochek, I think. It's a Andorian hockey-like game. I'm getting some of my anger out on the ring.
That sounds like fun. Actually, I would watch that.
Uh,
Okay.
but here, I'll just post the thing so people at home can read. Here is the Wikipedia article on.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you know who's actually becoming good friends with Tesora? Is the counselor.
Oh yeah, that's true. They are getting along beautifully. Do you steal her away from her for a day and go shopping or something?
Wait, hold on. The counselor, I forget. Is the counselor the captain's wife?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. Yes, actually.
Awesome.
um, yeah, and I steal her away. Maybe because I see her at the holodeck. And but what I would want to do is yeah, some sort of high speed like piloting simulator, either a like racing sort of game or some sort of like space battle simulator. But I you've definitely seen me spending more time talking to her, but you haven't gotten a chance to overhear any of it.
I love it. Okay, so while you guys have leave for a week, orders from the admiral had Commander Tanjot stay aboard the ship to you know while everybody else got leave. James, you were instructed to stay behind to be the like in command of the ship while it was while most of the crew actually stayed behind. It was just the officers that got leave. So while you are on the ship, a few things are happening. First, a crew of engineers come on board, and they're really just going over the phaser land system to make sure everything held up under real combat conditions. The second thing that happens is a series of crates are being loaded into between your shuttle and cargo areas. These are relief supplies for the planet of Europe 3 that got the Tribble infestation. And you guys, when you're finished with your time at the station, you're supposed to deliver those to Europe 3. And then
Okay.
finally, a small team from the Starfleet Judge Advocate General Corps. So these are space lawyers. They come on and they do they, I guess, requisition sensor logs and things from the combat and the events leading up to that, and they interview a few of the more junior officers that stayed behind on the ship. They do not
Okay.
they do not interact with you directly beyond saying, hello, or, could we schedule a meeting with this person at this time.
Okay.
So since you missed it, the ship is docked at Tratados Station, which is the region's unofficial trade hub. So it's a really big space station in a system with two rival planets that sort of co-own the station.
Okay.
Okay, so for the actual opening scene, Tanjat and Captain... God, why can I never remember your last name? Demore are called into the Admiral Singh's office together.
On station, I assume, right?
On the station, correct.
Okay.
So he is sitting there. He's actually standing behind his desk, but he motions for the two of you to sit in the two chairs in front of it. And sort of sitting against the wall behind his desk is, you can tell he's a lieutenant commander from the JAG Corps, just from his uniform and insignia.
Admiral.
Captain,
Admiral.
commander. I was hoping you guys were going to do the thing with it. Okay.
Captain.
Yeah.
Captain.
I think we're still kind of not talking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, we observe. It might have been Captain.
So, how did your last mission go?
You obviously saw my reports, but we encountered a combatant who had, or a aggressive ship who had laid claim, or said they had laid claim to the system, and then demanded we give them, what was the word exactly?
Tribute.
Tribute. When we refused to give tribute to them, open conflict ensued. We disabled their shield systems, and they fled.
I
That
didn't
sounds
ask
like
what
an accurate-
happened. I asked how it went.
The ship performed admirably. And I will say other issues arised.
So I have surmised. Lieutenant Commander, or no, it's just Commander. Commander Tanjat, would you care to elaborate on the situation?
Sir, the captain was ordering me to make a first strike, and I was unwilling to do so.
Why?
Sir, I have fought a war. I fought 2 wars that followed no rules. And I have done things that haunt me. So, pride I feel from wearing this uniform comes from now serving with a very defined set of rules. and I have seen posturing that went nowhere. So, yes, I disobeyed an order to make a first strike.
Captain Demore, why
Yes, sir.
did you order the attack on the enemy ship?
They were a direct threat. They had the shields and shields up the entire time, did not communicate when they approached us. We sent out several hails beforehand. When they finally approached, after trying to do a secondary scan after their demands were given, they opened all their weapon and torpedo bays with extreme aggression. I did not, since they were an unknown on what kind of weaponry they were able to fire. I did not know if they were going to be tri-cobalt devices. I did not know if they were going to be photon torpedoes. I took the initiative to protect my crew and my ship.
So who is right? He
Sir,
kind of looks back and forth between the two of you. Who is
Sir,
right?
Sir, I believe that both of us play fault. Both of our arguments do have merit.
So you see that now. Why couldn't you see that in the moment?
Because of my principles.
Principles or prejudice?
Principles.
Do you know why
Probably a
you...
little-
Go ahead.
Probably a quick little side eye.
Do you know...
By the way, I am playing this directly. I'm standing in, at attention posture. I'm like, just eyes straight ahead at him. Everything is via protocol, just of note for scene dressing.
Do you know why you two were assigned to lead a ship together?
No, sir, I was not was not privy to your decision-making process on this selection.
If you were in my shoes, why would you assign the two of you to a ship?
Relations between the two cultures after a difficult period of elongated, difficult period of time between the two species.
And he looks over at Tanjat. Commander?
Sir, if I'm going to be totally honest, I part of thought it might just
I didn't get
Sorry,
that.
what? Yeah, you were cutting off there. Heard that loud and clear.
Sir, if I'm going to be perfectly candid, part of me assumed it was a joke.
You two were assigned to a ship because you're two experienced officers that excel in your roles and have complementary skill sets. The fact that you're a Bajoran and a Cardassian didn't even cross my mind. Do you know why?
No, sir.
He stands up and suddenly, like, this seems like a joke at first, but as he goes on, you realize that, oh shit, no, he's actually pissed. So he stands up and he's like, because you're fucking Starfleet officers. And so the Jag guy that's kind of sitting in the wall in the back, he like flinches. He was not expecting this either. He's like, so the admiral, he leans forward and he's like, the two of you have served Starfleet for years. There's decades of uh, experience between the two of you, and the thought that the two of you would be going at each other and disobeying orders and arguing in front of your officers never even crossed my mind. How the hell could you act so immaturely?
Mm,
So
Lapse in judgment, sir.
he kind of regains his composure and he sits back down at the at his desk and he's like, I'm wary of putting the two of you back out there after what the lieutenant commander's investigation has uncovered, but I have faith in both of you individually, and I want to believe that you can rise above prejudice. And he says that while staring directly at you, Tanjat.
try not to obviously avert his gaze, but kind of avert his gaze.
I'm going to give you another chance. However, if there is another issue, if I hear from one or both of you that there has been a problem or a disagreement or a refusal of an order that under any other captain I feel like you would not have hesitated to comply with, that I will remove both of you from your positions, demote you a rank, and send you both to opposite sides of the Federation. Do I make myself clear?
Understood, sir.
To split you two up.
Well, but so if one of you fucks up, you're both going to pay for it.
Yeah, I know. It's just at the end, all I heard was Mom yelling,
Go
"Am I
the other
gonna
side,
have
yeah.
to split you two up?"
Okay. Well then, I believe you guys have a mission to embark upon.
Sorry, you cut out there for a sec. What'd you say?
I believe the two of you have a mission to embark upon.
Indeed, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dismissed.
I'll do that. Attend. What? How do they salute or whatever? I don't think they
They-
actually do.
They don't salute, they come to attention.
Okay, I'll come to attention and then turn out on my heels and walk out very formally.
I'll follow. I feel like that's a prudent thing to do right now.
Yeah, so the instant the door slides shut behind you, you don't realize how stifling that room was. It's like being called to the principal's office, even if you didn't do anything wrong. Oh God, what the fuck did I do wrong?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so do you two?
As we're heading to, are we heading back to the ship or are we still on?
Well, yeah, you're just outside of
Leave
his
for 2 more
office.
days.
What do you guys want to do?
I'm not opening my mouth because there's still ears around here until we get further down into the station.
Okay, so the captain just kind of walks out steadily. Tanjat, do you follow her?
Yeah, I assume she's going to the ship.
Okay.
We
So-
were told very sternly, now go to your room.
So yeah, you kind of walk through the open commerce area, and then down the long pylon that sticks out that the ship is docked at, and
Is it
there's
occupied?
the pylon. I mean, there's yellow shirts kind of running around, so the occasional crew members from your ship or based here on the station, as well as dock workers that work on the station, and they're using gravity sleds to move boxes of supplies and load them into ports along your ship, but it's not like you can't, like, if you're screaming, people will notice, but you can have a conversation without being overheard.
All right. I assume we have to get on the turbo lift to get to the bridge.
Absolutely.
If you're following behind me onto the turbo lift, there are you?
Yes.
All right. A couple seconds in, I'll go halt turbo lift. Or computer halt turbo lift.
It stops.
I will turn to you, Tanjot, and go, I have worked too hard for this to be the end of my career. Now, I understand we have our problems. I get it. I do. Things happened between our people. Things that both sides are ashamed of doing. But I will not let that kind of racial stupidity screw up this whole thing. I'm on the boundary of shouting.
I get that.
And then I lean in close, like angry, but not like about to hit you or anything. But you definitely are feeling my rage. Probably the heat, the anger rays emanating off me. And I go, and I know for a fact that you would not be pleased with a demotion either, right, Commander?
No, man.
Good. So, I expect you to be a professional from now on. We don't have to be friends. We don't even have to like each other. We don't need to respect each other. But I damn well expect you to follow orders. Is that understood, Commander?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I think I'm going to have a moment to put my thoughts together. If you wouldn't mind getting the ship underway, I will be in my quarters if I am needed.
Yes,
Turbo lift, or computer, change destination to deck, whatever.
2, probably. I don't know. We didn't really
Deck
figure that out.
Deck 2 and resume.
Yeah, I mean, your stomach flips a little bit as it changes direction, and yeah, the doors open, drops the captain off. Kyle, Tanjat, you're left sitting in there alone.
Whew. Computer to the bridge.
Yeah, beeps, and
Okay.
you arrive at the bridge.
Random NPC exits the elevator uncomfortably.
Okay.
This is right about the time that Tesora gets on the turbo lift.
So I was gonna say, if when the turbo lift doors open, you might see Tesora, but oh man, or maybe when it's just you. But where I envision her right now actually is coming out of the office of the of that Ferengi information broker. And unlike the rest of the week that you've seen her, she's actually looking quite distraught, but maybe doesn't notice either of you. But obviously handling some kind of personal business.
Well, we were on the ship, so.
Oh,
I thought
actually,
you were
no.
in Sing's office.
Maybe this is the time for Eversoul to walk on the turbo lift. with a tribble.
When we talk about the turbo lift, is the turbo lift on the station or on the ship?
On the ship.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
they like
okay, I was
walked
thinking on
down the pylon where they
Mhm.
were like loading all the supplies onto your ship,
Okay.
and then got on the ship and took the turbo lift up. They were going to go to the bridge, but they went to.
Okay. For some reason, when you said it was Singh's office, I thought it was
They
on
walked.
the
They walked from Singh's office to the ship before talking, because the
Okay.
captain didn't want to be overheard.
Oh, I see.
So maybe Vivek or Eversoul saw you come out of the information broker's office.
Possibly.
I could have probably seen Zora as I am going back and forth to the hospital, maybe from a lunch break.
I think we were on the ship.
Oh, if it wasn't the ship, then maybe going to reprint some of medication before he's done for the day.
Yeah, I mean, this will be the last time you're here for a little while, so whatever loose ends you might have to tie up, now's the
then
time.
he's just reprinting medication for the ship so that he is sure that nothing he took is missing.
I mean, doesn't it replicate? Doesn't the ship replicate?
Not sure
Drugs
if
and
it's
shit.
automatically or I have to do it myself.
You have to do it
could just-
yourself, and there are some things that you can't replicate. Anything that has to be like super fine, or
Yeah.
super detailed on a molecular level. So there are some medicines that you cannot just replicate.
He would have only tried to use those medicines that he can replicate unless they really and life-threateningly needed them.
Okay.
Great. Now we're gonna need a bunch of those meds.
Okay. So are we ready to get underway?
I think so.
Yep.
Ready.
Sounds good.
Okay. So the trip to Europe 3 is a fairly short one. It should only take about a week. At warp. So I mean, it passes, at least the first few days pass mostly uneventfully. The crew hasn't had time off, but they didn't get leave like most of you did, but
I mean, they
did.
were allowed off the ship, though.
Yes, they were allowed off the ship, and so everybody's in really good mood. There's also a thriving, trade and like all the little trinkets and things that people picked up. There's probably some illicit liquor on board. Everybody's in a really good mood. Most people aren't aware that the captain and first officer were almost fired, and so yeah, like I said, it's been, I don't know, it's been a month. Everybody knows everybody now. There's little cliques forming in friend groups, and combined with the fact that you just got some liberty. Everybody's in a good mood.
Except anyone under more direct.
Oh yeah, no. On the bridge itself, it's definitely like, well, mom and dad still aren't talking.
Yeah. So sorry. Let me bring up my little thing here. All right. Commander Vivek. When you are taking the turbo lift up to the bridge to take your turn as officer of the watch or whatever, you do notice that the turbo lift is moving a little faster than usual. They use inertial dampeners, so you never really realize how fast it's moving. But the fact that you can feel that it's moving kind of indicates that maybe something isn't quite right.
You gotta fix this.
And then when it stops, your feet actually leave the floor. It stops so abruptly. which shouldn't happen with the inertial dampeners. So obviously something's wrong with the turbolift.
Mm-hmm.
And then the doors open, and you are on the bridge for your watch. What do you do?
Well, if I'm the leading the watch, I'm gonna get a team going to have the computer do a level 1 diagnostic on the turbo lift.
All right.
Whatever that means.
Something wrong with the turbo lift?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't be there because it's his watch.
Well, are we changing watch?
Yeah, so unless,
Okay.
like, most of the time, there's just one officer who, sits in the captain's chair on deck. So the captain isn't always sitting there, for, probably 4 or 5 hours a day, she's there or in her ready room right next door. But you all have work besides what you do on the bridge. And so, especially when you're underway to a destination, you all just kind of take turns being in charge for a shift. And so, yeah, it's his turn. So
Yeah, okay, so those two are switching off, though, Tanjot.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Okay. That's what I was confused about.
So Vivek,
no.
do you want to... You're going to dispatch somebody, you said?
Yeah, or I'll have the computer run a diagnostic.
Yeah, so there are some issues with power flow and the inertial dampeners for, like, the entire turbolift system. So it's not able to tell you exactly what the issue is.
Yeah. I'll start. So I'll let. I'll probably dispatch a team, and I'll let whoever's. Is everybody else awake, or
What time is it? Called? Oh.
It's
o'clock.
5 p.m.
I would probably be in my quarters working on some paperwork.
Yeah, I think your wife is in the process of figuring out what to replicate for dinner, so you might be waiting a little while.
I'll if it can't pinpoint the problem in the system, I'll sort of expand my search sort of shipwide, just kind of.
You can find like a section of the EPS grid that is showing malfunctions. Some sections aren't getting enough power. Some sections, it's not just power, but information flow, or the computers are running a little slower because the warp field that is created around the computer cores that allow them to process so quickly. Since it's receiving reduced power, they're working slower, if that makes sense. But it mostly seems like a minor power issue. And you said you dispatched a team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're gonna switch over to Lieutenant Commander Eversole. You are working in your lab. And you notice that your tribbles, who are usually just cooing nicely on the table next to you, are, I don't know, they're acting a little distressed. They're making, instead of their little coos, they're making like little chirping noises.
That's definitely you. Am I with somebody else in my lab, or am I just working alone?
I think you're probably working alone.
Do I need to work in medical analysis to see what's wrong with them?
Yeah, sure. Let's...
Oh, remember, the tribbles ain't allowed in the med lab anymore. That was a direct order.
They're not in the med bay. They're in his lab.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, yeah, let's do reason science with focus in alien medical research. So double success on a 4 or better.
Got it. And I need how many successes?
Just one.
Okay, that would be enough. Ooh, did it.
Jesus.
Wow.
Okay. Uh yeah, they are based on like the enzymes they're giving off and their motions, especially like when you move nearby they almost flinch or like jump a little bit. They
Mhm.
are just incredibly scared of something.
Hmm. I will start the intercom and ask, uh, Captain, can you hear me?
I, as the thing goes off and I hear his voice, I just look up from my paperwork and you can see a look of dismay on my face as I'm Captain here.
Sorry to bother, Captain, but I seem to have some trouble on the lab. Is everything all right on station on the ship?
I kind of like do a grab the brow of my nose and go, I would suggest communicating to the commander on deck. I am currently filling out paperwork, getting ready to have dinner.
Oh, apologies, Commander. I hope you have a pleasant dinner. I was not aware. Do you have a good night? And I'll just end that come there. And we'll go to the other command bridge as soon as possible, almost as if that never happened.
You say you have any trouble with tribbles?
Jesus.
He's gonna open comms. Well, not really, but I do seem to have a little bit of a warning sense here. Is everything all right over there?
Well, we're having some weird power fluctuations too. We're trying to tie it down. Um, Keep an
Anything
eye
showing
on.
on the radar? Or sense?
Sensors.
Yeah, is there anything on those sensors?
Um there's
Actually, it was yeah,
because of the power issues, a lot of
yeah.
internal sensors are down.
Hmm.
And there's not great sensors in like the Jeffries tubes that sort of run through the ships anyway because
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna actually try to. Yeah, I'm gonna ask my team their progress.
There is no response.
Uh, Eversol is
Okay.
gonna add. Well, I'm a doctor, not an engineer, but if you need anything, do let me know. And
Yeah.
he's gonna end that comm and put the tribbles in his pocket, trying to comfort them as he's going to see if there's anything else he can do on the laboratory to calm them down.
Okay. Tesora,
Yes.
you are walking to or from your quarters. What are you doing in early evening when you're not on duty?
When I'm not on duty, I was actually kind of hoping to be in the holodeck.
Perfect. All right.
And if it's being affected by the power fluctuations, I'm quite frustrated because I was actually trying to do some work in there.
Yeah, I think like you go in and you tell it to load your program
It's an
and
extremely complex program that I'm trying to run. So I've been kind of thinking about what she does in there, and what it normally looks like is she's got a simulation of the planet that she's studying, and in the center are these sort of like Stonehenge ruins that she's been studying. And when she puts like pieces of this calendar that she's been assembling above in the sky, the stars start like simulating what that era looked like. So it requires a lot of computing power to sort of simulate these different trials she's running to see if like the solar system balances correctly. And so as she's doing this, like everything's kind of flickering and like getting like computer glitchy and things like that.
even more than that, like you go and you're doing these broad kind of like minority report gestures as you're
Yeah.
creating the pieces and moving them, and as you push your hands forward to like slide this Stonehenge rock that you just had the computer simulate forward, your hands crack up against the wall, which shouldn't happen in a holodeck.
Oh yeah, like I
But
just like it's a bad whatchamacallit, Oculus Rift like room, like I just bonked.
yeah, and so like yeah, you smash one of your fingers or something. You're like, ow, what the fuck? Yeah.
Vivek, what's wrong with the holodeck?
What's wrong with my ship? I'll let.
What is wrong with
I'll
your
just
ship?
kind of summon the senior staff because we're gonna let the captain know because something's going on.
And I think that's when communications probably stop working.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Hello, Vivek, are you ignoring me?
Yes, I am.
Does the replicator explode?
No, but what it replicates is not at all what she ordered. It's like it doesn't replicate the wrong thing. It just doesn't.
A soft serve version of it.
Yes, exactly. It's like ooze. And so like let's say that it was like pork chops with potatoes au gratin, and instead it's like a pale beige.
It's like
Like,
the Calvin and Hobbes, like everything Calvin would have to eat.
Yes, exactly, except maybe it's slightly more runny, like the consistency of applesauce. The hell of it is, it actually kind of smells good.
I'll look at her and go, interesting new recipe you're trying.
She replicates a glass of water, and sort of the same thing happens. Like it's more liquidy, but the glass obviously doesn't fully congeal. So Tanja, where do you go after your shift?
Honestly, after this day,
Well, it's been a
or
couple of days.
It's been,
okay.
yeah.
Well, okay, but I'm still like, I'm in the cafe or the diner.
Oh, the diner, yeah, okay. So that's the ship's other holodeck. Yeah, I think the other patrons, like the music stops playing, and then the other patrons sort of like flicker in and out, so they're not there a second, and then a second later they're continuing a conversation as if they never left, and then they flicker out again.
Oh, they don't turn into some giant monsters that I have to like now run from.
No.
No, this isn't Beowulf all of a sudden.
Computer, what's wrong with the program?
The computer does not respond.
Damn it. Go find the exit.
How?
Which, yeah.
Actually, no, like you go over to like where you think the exit should be,
And
and
it's
you
not there.
thump right into a wall.
Just like feel your way around.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my hand on that wall and just feel my way to around the box.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. So you find the control panel.
Uh,
I don't think it has haptic feedback at all.
so I'm touching the control panel, but
Okay, so actually, let's make.
Wait, okay, hold on. Am I also similarly trapped in my holodeck?
Not yet. Let's do reason.
security?
I don't know, to like touch type with no haptic feedback.
Insight engineering.
I think reason engineering. Insight deals with creatures. Yeah. Okay, so give me a d20 roll with a 50-50 chance.
Just 1d20?
Yeah. Oh, no, you're fine. Wow.
We made it by 2.
All right, so yeah, you manage to open the door, and the instant you do, the hollow image goes away, and you're left with like that grid.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I will go to the other holodeck door and open that.
The same thing happens. So, Tesori, you're shaking your hand up and down because you just smashed your finger into the wall unexpectedly, and
Right.
the door opens like 3 meters to your right, and the entire hollow image just goes away, and you're staring like the wall is right in front of you.
Okay. And then am I able to see the control panel?
Yeah, it's right next to the door,
Okay.
and the door is
Is-
open.
Oh, okay, Tanjot managed to
Tanjot's
open it.
And there's a Tanjot standing next to you.
Yeah.
But this is
Hey.
inconvenient.
Is your holodeck acting weird?
Yes, I just walked into the wall on accident.
Yeah, I was having problems with the computer commands in there as well. Hey, computer,
No
are you
response.
working yet? Nope. All right, so the computer's having difficulties. The holodecks are having difficulties.
I can't get Vivek on
It's
the
not my
line.
fault.
Okay, so the communications are out as well. The captain said she'd be in her quarters. Why don't you go get the captain and meet us at the bridge?
um,
Why don't you inform the captain and I'll be on the
Oh
bridge?
yes, right. I'll go tell Mom. I'll go
Yeah.
tell Mom that Dad wants to meet her on the bridge.
No. Why don't you just go tell her that
Totally
there are
not
technical issues going on and I am
uncovering
going
any
to the
memories.
bridge?
Not reliving any psychological trauma at all.
All right, so you two get on 2 different turbo lifts. Tanjot, you're going to the bridge, and Tesori, you're going to the captain's quarters.
Yes.
Can I have
Oh.
been doing something real quick?
Sure.
Commander Vivek, please get on the line. Commander Vivek, as I'm spooning weird spoonfuls of the pork chop goo into my mouth.
Oh, you're eating it. Oh,
Oh.
Ugh.
I'm hungry.
Oh.
It tastes like nothing.
no, it
Yeah.
tastes right. It's just like it's the worst possible consistency in the world. It's like it's
It
runny
tastes good, but
applesauce.
the texture is awful.
Actually, I'm gonna look at her and be like, actually, when this is fixed, we need to make this again.
She looks at you in horror because she tried 1 spoonful and just like the texture made her gag involuntarily.
But yeah, I'm trying to raise Vivek on the line.
Yeah.
But
Captain?
communications are down. Oh wait, no. So before you get off of the
Oh, okay.
turbo lift, the inertial dampeners are not working at all.
Oh jeez.
Oh no!
That's
Eh.
bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the turbo lifts, they don't just go up and down. So they're not just elevators. They take you from one point to
Mhm.
another in the ship,
Mhm.
and they go really fast.
Am I going up or down?
Let me guess. The dampeners are what makes them not go fast.
Well, yeah. So the inertial dampeners mean that somebody standing inside doesn't feel that movement. For you, it's just like standing in any other room.
Good thing I'm on the medical lab.
Yeah. So,
I think it wouldn't be going up or down first. I think it'd be going sideways.
yeah. So I
If you
think
were on the-
you're like jerked up against the wall as it goes sideways, and Tanjot, this happens to you too, because you're moving in parallel, but then hers goes like forward while yours continues going up for a ways.
This might be actually a fitness security check.
Yeah, fitness security makes sense to me.
I have exactly 3 seconds to figure out what velocity I'm going to hit the wall with.
Difficulty 2 to
I-
hold on to something so you don't smack into the wall as you're trying to figure out which, what sort of direction, it's so you can anticipate the movement.
You think the survival focus would count?
No.
No.
No, this isn't like wilderness survival. This is holding on for dear life.
Different kind of
This-
survival.
This is what qualities did you say it was? Fitness
Security.
13. I got 1.
Hey.
You
got
gotta
it.
roll
Why'd
a
you-
more d20.
Oh, I do too?
You always
Yeah,
roll
you
2,
always
yeah.
do 2.
Oh, yeah, right. That's how the game works.
Hey, you got 2.
All right. Well, difficulty is 2, so yeah, to Sora, you're able to like anticipate the movement, and actually you probably just lay flat on the ground seems like the best choice, because that's going to protect you from movement in 3 different directions, and you know you're going up.
Yeah.
Tanja, you try and hold on,
Yeah.
and you do a really good job, and then it stops. And you smack into the ceiling. And so, Vivek, you see the doors open. And Tanjat is like pancaked on the floor. Or maybe they even open in time for you to see him fall on the floor from hitting the ceiling.
All the excess inertia pinned him to the ceiling
Yeah.
long enough for the door to open.
Commander, what the hell did you do to my ship when I was
So
gone?
yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, that's not. You don't get a complication.
Take
I
the
think
stress.
the entire bridge crew just is going to remember that.
You may take a stress.
I don't want to. Not for this.
Okay.
I am going to stand up like a champ and like posture up and fix my suit and just walk out onto the bridge and don't talk about it.
I
Okay.
think on my end, I don't look embarrassed, but it definitely still looks weird that like I'm splayed out on the floor like a starfish.
I think there's even like 2 people there. So the doors open, and yeah, exactly. Like you're prostrate, right,
Yes.
with your hands and legs out, and so when it stops, you're like, oh, good.
I think if any of you are planning to ride the turbo lift like that, you can only do it one at a time.
I think they just get on because they don't
Time to use
understand what you were
ladders.
doing.
Oh, you two are about to get very comfortable with each other.
You just let them go in.
You're the worst.
Okay, yeah, the door's closed, and you just hear real quick, "Ah!"
With the great Doppler effect, it just disappears.
Okay, now you can knock on the captain's door. Oh God, I need to get that sound effect. Oh, it doesn't matter, yeah, because it doesn't work. Yeah, so you just hear knocking on the door.
I raise an eyebrow at the wife, and then I go to walk up to the door and expect it to open and probably just face plant into it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I guess I can just tell you from here that the ship's haunted.
Pull back and go, weirdest Vulcan ever. I'll pull up the hatch and do the emergency door opener thing.
Yeah. All right, you slide it open. Sora's there. Her hair is
Crazy?
a mess. Yeah.
Look at your hair. That's crazy. No, I'm gonna like kind of motion her in, and I guess I'll just leave the door open.
Yeah.
And then I'll walk over and go, this ship is haunted.
Well, that or we're experiencing some extreme power fluctuations. Oh, is that a new recipe?
I'm gonna I'm actually gonna grab my favorite tall coffee mug and start pouring it in,
Oh,
and put the cap on, and then look at the uneaten one, and then grab the secondary cup and pour it in, and hand it to Sora.
Isn't it pork?
It is pork. I don't care right now.
to Sora might.
I'll say, oh, I'll start handing it to her, go, oh, wait, it's pork. And then I'll take it and I'll look at both of them and I'll just double fist and go, I think we should go to the bridge.
Okay.
Honey, I'll be back when the ship is no longer haunted.
Ever,
Yep.
a nurse comes knocking on your door. Doctor, are you in there?
Oh, is it the fun nurse that I made for you?
Yeah, I can't find that. I must not have downloaded that PDF. So if you can find it again, that would be helpful.
It's
It's a female
Gorn.
Gorn. Yeah.
So it might be more snarly.
Well, the female ones are smaller, just from like sexual dichotomy.
He's gonna pop out from the desk. Yes. Things have been a little bit weird. Everything all right?
We need you in medbay. There's a couple of injuries.
I'm on my way. He'll take up his surgery or whatever tools he need and head over to surgery.
Okay. So you get there, and there are two crew member, one of whom is holding a chunk of tongue in his hand,
Oh, jeez.
and like blood is coming from the corners of his mouth. And the other one has got a pretty good gash on his the crown of his head.
I would like to say healing hands task to heal injury complication produced by one, if possible.
Yeah. So which one do you start with?
The tongue, because it's bleeding and I need to cauterize that before he bleeds out.
Oh my God! You're gonna cauterize his tongue?
I mean, just
Just reattach it. Just
sew it
reattach
back
it.
on.
Well, I figured you cauterize before you reattach it.
No.
No!
No.
Well, this is why I'm not a doctor.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, let's make this a difficulty of. Normally it would difficulty of
Durable Mender or whatever.
2, but with the power fluctuations, I think it's going to be 3.
They're independent tools.
They are, but like lights are flickering and diagnostic tools.
Oh, okay.
You won't get ship bonus, I assume.
Oh, wait, with medicine you may ignore the increase in difficulty for working without the proper tools or equipment.
Oh.
All right.
I do still have healing hands. Not sure if that also helps.
No, because there are no complications. This is just sort of like a. Yeah, so let's do, I think, control medicine and emergency medicine. So, yeah, this is your wheelhouse. 17, crit 5.
And I need 2 or 3.
2.
I'm gonna use one moment.
Okay. Well, you got the success to pay it back. And you reattach his tongue. It's going to be swollen for a while, so he's not going to be able to talk. But while you're attaching it, the other guy tells you what happened. And that's the two of them got into a turbo lift together. And when it took off, they collided. And so the guy that's bleeding from his head got that way because his head impacted the other guy's chin. And so, like, the other guy's teeth went into his head, and the other guy bit his own tongue when hit in the chin with the guy's head.
Way to go, Vulcan.
He's gonna just hear the story and say, "Great Scott, that is horrible." Let me see what I can do about it. How is your head feeling? I'm pretty sure I used enough anesthetic on the tongue guy so that he's not in death's pain. I'm not sure how you guys call that.
Tongue injuries are actually not that bad, speaking from experience. Go ahead. This is just a difficulty 1. It would, if you were a contemporary doctor, it'd be like 3 stitches. But head wounds bleed a lot.
So I'm not gonna use momentum.
Boom. Okay.
By the
so
way,
that's
I
4.
just posted in the Discord
I
the
saw that.
nurse for you.
Okay. Okay, so I think that puts us sort of into, I'm going to call it the next scene,
Mm-hmm.
but that is we're sort of out of the discovery phase and into the investigation phase.
Yep.
So Tanjot and Vivek, you are on the. Oh wait, hold on.
Have
Sora?
me and Tara arrived where we need to be?
Yeah, how are you guys getting to the bridge?
The tubes, man, the tubes.
Jeffrey's tubes.
You're climbing up the Jeffries tubes.
Yes.
I feel like the captain's quarters are by necessity near the bridge, so it shouldn't be too difficult. I think they actually have the artificial gravity working in a way where you don't have to, it's not difficult to climb or anything. Is there a notice? There's really not, is there?
There's no spot check.
As you guys are climbing up, you do notice that, like, the lights are off in the Jeffries tubes below your deck, or flickering. And, who climbs up first?
The Vulcan.
Okay. So then, Tara, as you're climbing up, twice you could swear that you heard something moving below you.
Can I do a spot check? I don't know what that would be.
It's dark. Like, I think you would have to find a way to make light.
I mean,
to
okay,
see
no.
down there.
If the ship was going crazy, I would have grabbed a flashlight from one of the emergency things in the hallway.
Aren't
That's
there,
fair.
like, emergency lights on when the lights go off?
Well, yeah, but they have these wrist-mounted, like, dual LED things that they wear in Star Trek.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so you shine it down there,
What
and
do I
you
need to
don't
roll?
see.
Oh.
I'm not even gonna make you roll. You don't see anything, but for a split second, you think you see a couple of, like, I guess a few sets of eyes looking up at you. They're like, little. They're the kind
Like
that reflect light.
The
And then they're
cat
gone.
reflective thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Told you it was haunted.
Did you see it? I don't think you saw it.
Oh no, she was climbing up.
But do I hear anything?
No, I don't think you heard it. I think just the captain heard it, and just for a
Okay.
second.
I'll just frown at it and continue upwards with one of my drinks on my belt and the other.
So you're like wrapping your wrist around the inside of the ladder as you're pulling up, so you don't have to let go of your dinner.
Yeah, I'm still hungry.
All right. So 4 of the 5 of you end up on the bridge.
Did we have any time to be working on stuff on the bridge?
Yeah, sure. I mean, what are you working on?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to diagnose where this might be coming from.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your favorite little roll there.
Mhm.
Let
Control
me
engineering.
look at focuses real quick. No focuses apply.
No, but I do get my. I know my ship.
Oh yeah, add 1 bonus D20. God damn. All right. Yeah, difficulties only 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think your momentum pool is full. I can't add anything else there. So, yeah. So there are EPS conduits leaking throughout the
Mhm.
ship, and they're sort of like that. It's lowering power,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, power is just being drawn away from vital systems.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it is, it has to do with the EPS conduits, and it's sort of like it started just because he did so fucking well on that. Uh, you can kind of tell where it started, which is sort of towards the aft of the ship, and then as it spread out from there, so like it started with internal dampeners, which got worse over time because of the way the power bleed has been going on. But then it extended to the computer core, and then the doors, and now the lights.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, the critical ship systems are not affected. So like engines and life support have independent power supplies, and don't necessarily need the power, at least not short term. But at the moment, you're flying blind through space,
Yeah.
and you're losing power from inside the ship.
Yeah. I Can we stop the ship?
Yeah, easily. Like I think the navigational controls still work.
Yeah, I'm gonna advise we come to a halt.
Yeah.
And
Tell
I explain
the
where, yeah, I explain where it started and kind of basically what Colin just said. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? I was gone for a week. What the hell did you do to my ship?
Yes, do we have a full manifest of all the changes that they made?
As we pop out of the thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think this was happening while we were climbing the.
I might. Well, I got there maybe like 10 seconds before you did because you're finagling your drinks as you try to hop out of the tube.
And also shining a flashlight below.
They have caps.
Yeah, so just kind of like coming out of a grate beneath one of the stations, like Tesora comes crawling out on all fours, and I think one of the crewmen just kind of hits a couple of buttons, and flickering in and out up on the screen is a pretty short list of the changes they made, none of which directly affected the power. The closest thing that is like a capacitor for the phaser lance that they changed out with a different model that has like a a different amperage or something.
So like, what's where this started? Is there something like specific in that area?
It started in the Jeffries tubes near the cargo bays.
Okay.
Oh no.
I am going to climb out of the thing now with juggling my coffee cup and climb up and say, I think we have a rodent problem.
Well, I certainly got some kind of problem, and it started by the ma'am, and it started by in the Jeffries tubes by the cargo bay. So
I'm shining my light down into the Jeffrey's tube, and so I saw eyes.
So the Tribbles probably didn't breed then. Okay.
I'll start to walk over to the captain's chair, and as I'm about to sit down, I'll realize that I have a thing on my belt, and I'll hand off the extra cup to Tanjot and sit.
Tanjot will like sniff it and then take a drink. Thank you, Captain.
Tastes like rotty applesauce pork.
So it's a protein shake.
It's pork and like probably like green bean casserole in a.
I mean, I've been playing it as Tanjot has actually been enjoying the chef's fusion stuff for the most part. So I think Tanjot is like he's drinking this.
I look at him like I was not in hoping it was gonna drink it, but I'll just let it go and sigh, and like sit down for a minute and try to tap on the sensors. on my station? Does it work at all?
Internal or external?
Internal.
No, they do not work at all.
I'll sigh and walk over to the like little armor. Do we have our side phasers on us right now?
I mean, Tanjot would, because I feel like he never goes anywhere without a phaser.
I might be one to agree with you.
Vivek would, because he is the officer on duty, and I think it's a requirement.
Mhm.
I feel like the two of you probably didn't, because you were both off duty.
Mhm.
All right, so I'll walk over to the like weapons locker thing and grab one of those like little hand phasers, and then toss the other one.
I don't think there's one on the bridge.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Like, they're near there's the big ones in the security, like, center. And there are small ones near the transporter rooms for, like, away teams. But I don't think there's one on the bridge. Actually,
we're gonna-
here, I tell you what, I'm gonna spend 2 threat to declare that there is not a security locker on the bridge.
I will open the security locker and can it just be empty? Like it just never got put in.
Sure.
I open it up and go, close it and go. All right, we have critters on board. I swear I saw it. I'm not crazy. Tesora, Vivek.
Do we have an inventory of the cargo that was brought aboard? What supplies exactly are we transporting?
I'll
I was gonna like
Yeah,
stop.
Ensign, bring up a manifest.
Put my hands up. Put my hands up. Like, listen for a second. We have at this point critters on board. To Vivek, you have your sidearm, correct?
Yep.
You
Actually
can-
speaking, Eversol is sweating bullets and kind of like clenching his coat.
Are you on the bridge? I thought you were doing surgery.
I figured he finished. If sorry, never mind.
I think you're...
No, if you want to join them, you absolutely can, but I think... Oh, no, you do know about the... Oh.
Turbo lifts.
You do know that the turbo lifts are dangerous, so...
He's climbing.
Are you taking the Jeffries tubes?
I will be taking the Jeffries to trying to reach the captain and to see what is going on. And
Can we
why-
just say that he met us? Like he had the similar idea, and kind of like we crossed paths when we were on the way up.
That's fair, and that way I don't have to do anything separate about
Cool.
the missing time. Okay.
Okay. All right. Vivek, Tesora, Doctor, you three go down to the cargo bay and investigate what may have been in those crates. Commander, you're with me. We're going down to the armory and going hunting.
Okay, so you have 2 phasers. Are you just distributing one to each group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Since-
if we're going to the armory, if her and I are going to the armory, I will actually hand my phaser over to the other group.
Who takes
What do I do? What do I do with this?
it? Okay, not Tesora.
I was that.
I've
Actually,
already got one.
that was the whole
I've already
point.
got
was
one.
you each have one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm like, I'll put.
Who actually has good security in our group?
I'll actually
Vivek?
just say no, Commander.
Yeah,
You
me.
keep it. I don't have one right now. Vivek, you lead your team.
Mhm.
The commander and I are definitely going to get this. There. I assume there's another lieutenant or ensign on the bridge.
Sure, yeah.
Lebowitz, you have the bridge.
He looks terrified and stares at the chair. And he like walks over there, and then as you guys start climbing in, he looks around and he realizes that there's only one other person with him on the bridge.
The ship's not even moving. Just keep it that way and we should be fine.
He's like, "You there, Lieutenant." He just gives some benign, banal,
Benign.
inane,
Inane.
benign. There you go. Order just to like exercise the power of the fact that he is in command. Okay.
You make me a sandwich.
So we have. I'm just gonna.
He takes the cup that's on that I left on the armrest, takes a sip, and just like almost spits
Oh,
it
yeah,
out, and
he-
just like
He like spits it out. Like it doesn't even swallow. It just kind of rolls out of his mouth. All right, Tanja and the captain, and the other three are together. Okay, who wants to go first? Well, you guys like go down the same Jeffrey's tube for a little bit, and then you get to the level where the lights are out or flickering, and that's when you split. So the three of you are supposed to like continue down for a little while and then move aft, and you guys, the other two are moving, I guess forward, we'll say, and then down another level after a couple of.
I would have handed out flashlights, by the way, from the security locker that didn't have the phasers.
Okay. So yeah, you have flashlights. Yeah, looks clear as you split. So who do I follow first?
Roll a dice. Evens odds. Evens, it's
You
us
guys.
two.
Okay. All right. So as you climb over, there are odd marks on the wall, ceilings, and floors, and they're kind of like two-pronged punctures in the metal of the deck, but they're also going into the sort of like the electronics and conduits and things on the side. So every once in a while, like you'll hit some steam or something as you're crawling along.
Ugh. This reminds me of those damn caves in the Badlands. Or on damn caves in the asteroids of the Badlands.
Yeah, I never went there myself.
I was often given orders to hunt down Maquis during my time in the military.
Yeah. Too bad what happened to them.
They were terrorists.
Yeah? Well, at one point, so was I.
Kind of side eye him and then just be like, what you actually gained they're no longer provisional government anymore, right?
Yeah, no, they're a full-on government, and I feel like at this point they're Federation members too.
Yeah. Well, you decided to join the Federation instead of deciding to leave it. You've made,
Yeah. I'm sorry, what?
despite our differences, your people made the smart choice as opposed to those who decided to become terrorists over a simple dispute, our land dispute between our peoples. Not yours and mine, but mine. And
Yeah.
I kind of trail off as I.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I was never a member of the Maquis. When peace finally came, we welcomed it.
So I'm a little bit jumpy, so I'm just gonna turn and like like every few seconds, and like not every few seconds, but every now and then, thinking I heard something. Just especially since I don't have a phaser.
Yeah, you're behind. It's dark. Tanjot, I think you see one, or you see movement up ahead of you, but every time you shine your flashlight, you get nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I probably at this point, like, I am a field commander, so like I can detect that this is not where the captain is most at home, right?
That's fair.
I I just want to keep her talking, not thinking about it, like just moving.
Okay, I like that.
We don't have to roleplay at all, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
will.
guys already did your share. I'll say that you get to the security station, and I mean it's manned, but just by whoever was on duty for security, because there's always somebody.
So as we enter, I'm gonna look at whoever's on. Ensign,
Captain.
we have a infestation problem. Secure a team, grab your rifles, and go hunting. The
I-
commander and I are going to do the same.
Communications are down. It's just me here.
Do you know where your team lives?
Yes.
Then get to climbing. I'll grab one of the rifles off the wall and toss it to him.
Does
Um,
that
I-
happen?
Yes, it does. Well, it does if characters grab them.
Oh, yeah, I'm grabbing one for myself.
I will also grab one, so take your threat, but I will also hand him like a whole slew of them and just be like, and hand these out
So you
if you run into people.
give him like 40 pounds of rifles.
On a
Well,
backpack.
I mean not necessarily 40, but like I'll take like I'm gonna sling a bunch over my back for just the same reason. Like I want to no, give him all the like pistol deals, like
Yeah.
hand him. Just
Okay.
like, hey, distribute these if you run into people.
They're in the refuse tube, so be careful, Ensign.
He was about to climb in, and he steps back. What's in the Jeffries tubes?
Don't know. They can see in the dark and can bite through conduits. I would suggest getting to your closest crew first.
Can I lean in to the captain's ear for a second?
Yes.
I just want to whisper. I don't think sending him alone in the tube is a good idea. And then lean back out.
I'll look at him. Is he nervous? Looking at this point.
He's terrified.
Yeah.
I am going to sigh and then go, we will get you to your first location, Ensign.
Okay. Let's go to the other group. As you guys descend, you also see more and more.
I've got my big tool. I've got my tools with me.
Yeah,
Little
so
backpack
you
or
see
whatever.
these punctures,
Mhm.
around the wall of the because you're in a vertical shaft.
Mhm.
So you see them on all four sides, and in a couple places where they punctured deep enough, that's where the EPS leaks are coming from. It self seals, but I think it
Mhm.
doesn't keep pushing plasma through the tubes when there's a leak.
Yeah.
And as you get lower, who's going first?
I've got the
Whoever
gun,
has,
so I'll probably...
yeah, you've got the gun.
You also start noticing that there's some sort of a foreign material that you're seeing more and more of as you get lower, And by the time you guys reach the floor that you're supposed to start moving aft on,
Mm-hmm.
like whole sheets of this somewhat like sticky substance is strung through the tubes every direction you look.
Can Eversol, can you make any sense of what kind of creature might be doing this?
Not without a specimen or a residue. Could I find
Give your-
anything that could help
Does he
to
have a
I mean,
identify it?
there's-
tricorder? I mean, dude,
Yeah, there's
do the
the
wheelie wee.
there's the stuff all around you.
There's the stuff in the teeth marks as well.
Yeah, reason, science, alien medical research seems prudent.
Okay, maybe I will be able to get enough with this. How many successes would I need?
2, and this would be an excellent time for the obtain information momentum spend if you are successful.
I would like to spend momentum then.
3 momentum will get you 2 extra dice.
No, 1 momentum.
1 momentum. Okay.
I think he meant 3 dice in total.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's success. That's 3 successes.
And I would like to spend 1 momentum to ask, what are we dealing with?
Well, so the 2 successes gets you this information.
Mhm.
The so here the evidence that you have, like, you can kind of draw some conclusions, right? So the puncture wounds or the punctures in the sides of the Jeffries tubes suggest something that climbs vertically by, sticking into the side of the tubes with some sort of an appendage.
Mhm.
The sticky material is obviously used to slow down beings. It's not strong enough to capture you guys, but it does slow you down a little bit moving through it. You would imagine that this is some sort of creature that is predatory or that hunts by ambushing.
Mhm.
Now, if you have a question, you can ask it for the momentum.
Would I be able to ask with the momentum, what species is this creature?
Yeah, sure.
What species?
You have heard of them before, but never seen one. But you believe this is a Talarian hook spider.
Ah, fascinating specimen. A Talarian hook spider. I've never seen one in first clothes. Or at least a silk like this. Uh-oh. I just remember I hate spiders.
Yeah. Spiders.
Now, where does it get the name Hooks?
Probably from the little hooks on the little bottom of their little legs. I wouldn't recommend getting too close to them.
Oh,
No shit, Doc.
how
Let's keep going.
how big do they get?
As big as a little, from the size of a dog to the size of a hippo. As ferocious as well.
You're just making shit up and making it harder for us. Great.
Of course.
I see.
I especially like the thing the size of a hippo.
All right, we'll watch my six.
So what is are we just still in tubes?
Yeah, so you're like at the bottom, and now you have to start traversing horizontally. But and you're crawling. I should hold on just a second. Perfect. Okay. Boom.
Mhm.
So that's what Jeffrey's
Yeah.
tubes look like. And so you now have to crawl through one of those like 200 meters before you get to the cargo bay area.
Well, onward and upward.
Okay.
Watch my
Um
trying to like, you know, we want to. Can we like? Yeah, so we can still get through the webbing basically.
yes, it slows you down a little bit. Like if you
Mhm.
had to run away very quickly from something, you might have a hard
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
But
Well, if
yeah,
if I
it's
have to
not
run through it,
sticking
I'm
you
gonna
to the
use my
wall or anything.
If I have to run through it, I'm gonna use my phaser to burn it. So,
Okay.
but no, for
Hey.
now, just
Could be.
So you go not even 10 feet into the tube before you see the first one. It's on
Mhm.
the wall, and
Mhm.
it's just it kind of climbs, and then it looks, it stops and it looks at you, and it's got, okay, so I couldn't find a picture that properly conveyed my mental image for this. That is a throwaway line of dialogue from one episode of Next Generation, right?
Mhm.
A Tellurian hook spider is approximately the size of like a small dog. Not like dogs as small as my dogs, but like, I don't know. Smaller than an Australian shepherd, but bigger than a beagle. Um they, even though they're called spiders, they're not actually arachnids because they only have four limbs, but each limb is about half a meter long.
Mhm.
And yes, they end with a kind of savage looking hook
Mhm.
that, as it walks, you can even see it's got like a little wrist on the
Mhm.
end, and it uses the wrist to drive the foot into the side of the bulkhead, with a fair amount of force because it's, traversing. Um, and when you shine the light on it, it makes a weird noise that you almost feel more than hear because it's so low on the sound spectrum.
Mhm.
And then it sort of runs back into the darkness.
Oh, not on my ship, you assholes. Well,
Bedek,
yeah.
any way we can request to burn the whole Jeffrey Tubes down? I am all up for saving the innocent, but those things do not look innocent.
Oh, ever.
Yes.
There's a couple of really distressed chirping noises coming from your pockets.
Oh no.
And I think
take out my phaser and look around.
you don't have a
You
phaser.
don't have a phaser.
I have.
We only brought one.
I thought having weapons means it's always on my holster.
No, you don't walk around the ship with those.
Oh, okay, then never mind. I have none. I just try to cover my code and try not to make it sound so much.
I think as you guys start moving into the tube,
Mhm.
Ever's going last,
Yeah.
and there you can hear them in the tube behind you, staying out of your flashlight, cone, but
Mhm.
more and more of them following, and more distressed noises coming from Ever's coat pocket.
Right. You brought prey with us. Thanks. You brought little snacks.
I had no choice. They were making a lot of noise in the laboratory. I didn't
And I
want
think
to
we're
make any
all
problem.
praying here.
Sure
That's
has a
comforting.
Miss Cheerful. All right, let's. Is there more behind us? It sounds like than in front of us.
Oh yeah,
No.
you only saw
Yeah,
one in
then-
front of you, and there's a ton behind you now.
Yeah, then I guess we're going forward. I was gonna go back and get some bigger guns, but we're going forward now.
Move.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's some in front of you too, but they mostly stay out of range of your flashlight. You know, you'll
And if they
catch
cut, yeah.
a leg here or there.
Do we have
Uh,
any theories on why they're chewing the cables?
oh, they're
That's just
not
how they move.
chewing. Yeah, it.
They're just stabbing it with their feet.
Oh, I see.
All right. So I
I just
think
I make a note to like up the decontamination protocols and the transporters, or to check the.
all right. So I think you guys like kick out the Jeffries tube cover closest to the cargo bay.
Mm-hmm.
And as you climb out, like there's not usually people on duty in this area of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Uh but it's it's the darkest, like it's the area that's been affected the longest with the power bleed. And so finally here is where you feel the life support is starting to give out too, so the air is a little thin
Mm-hmm.
and stuffy. But you did make it to that area, and we are going to switch back to the commander and captain. So you guys each you each grabbed a rifle?
We did. You already added the things for him.
So what is your plan now?
Hunt.
Hunt. Okay. So you're going back into the tubes?
If that's where they're traveling, I mean, we're gonna drop off that ensign first to get his team together.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually what I thought we were doing. I thought you and I were going to start rallying the troops and organizing.
No, the captain is supposed to go off by herself and start shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the rules of Star Trek.
Yeah.
You send off Team B to do the
Yep.
things, and then the two bridge officers go and do something really reckless. That is
Yep.
the rules.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but I'm good with the reckless thing being us, like, communicating, like, traveling through the ship, having firefights with hook spiders.
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do. We dropped off Lebowitz to start getting, or not Lebowitz, he's on the bridge. Whatever this ensign, Kowalski. We got Kowalski to his first team member, and then they're gonna go grab the next team member, and they're gonna keep going, and we're gonna go off and hunt some spiders because that's what you do in this show.
Okay, so how are you hunting the spiders?
Well, they seem to be sticking to the shafts, right?
You haven't seen anything outside of the Jeffries tubes.
Okay. Then
The other big thing is that they seem to not like light, so we can use that. So I'm also gonna grab a bunch more flashlights.
okay. I think first we gotta pin them down and figure out, like so maybe.
Well, Captain, the cargo bay, like that seems to be the likeliest area to go to.
That's why I sent the science team down there to die horribly. No,
Well, yeah, but you sent the science team down there, and they've got a phaser.
They were investigating. We didn't know at the time. I'm not actually saying that. I didn't say any of that. This was literally just me kind of like give a bit of a nod, but we'll head our way down there and murder some of these things as we go. You can actually kind of tell that I'm a little bit I don't know. You might be able to tell I'm reveling in this a little bit because it's something to get my aggression out on.
Okay. Well, I will mention, yeah, like I will try to be keeping the tactical end of things like professional, but
We'll start heading down that direction, but I want to
Like-
start tracking these things down. What would that be? Daring security?
To track them?
Yeah. Reason security?
If you want to track them, track down their source or whatever. Yeah, reason security. If you wanted to try and lure them to you, daring security.
Oh, let's lure them. That sounds like fun. Let's get them lured somehow.
Just sitting there and turn off your flashlights.
Yeah.
I want to lure. Daring security. What's the success?
2. And this is
And-
also going to cover the attacking of them.
Okay. I assume you want to help out there, Commander?
Oh, absolutely. This is unconventional warfare.
Yes. But you're assisting.
Oh,
I mean, I could assist.
I mean, I'm probably better at this.
Go ahead. I'll assist.
We're
Alright.
doing
Daring
Daring
security. So success
So that's
on
a
14, double success on a 4 or better because it's unconventional warfare. Tara, how are you supporting?
I'm gonna use a determination.
Yeah?
No stranger to violence.
Okay.
I got his back. Like, we're doing that back-to-back maneuver thing.
Okay. So the same thing then? So yours
Yeah,
is 15 or less.
With
But you don't
a
have
success on a 1.
Yeah, you don't have a focus.
Um,
You want to roll d20s.
Huh? Oh no, I rolled that for the determination.
Oh, right, because you're a veteran. You did not get your determination back, however.
No.
Okay.
and then
2.
1, 2, 3. No, 2.
then here
2.
then here
2.
comes mine.
3.
That's 3.
All right. So yeah, you
This
turn
is a
off your
lot like-
lights, and you hear
Oh,
them kind of coming closer. Thunk, thunk. They make no noise. It's actually, yeah. Like the only noise that you hear is their claws kind of making a screeching noise as they dig into the different materials in the Jeffries tubes. But you can hear them getting closer and closer, and then when you turn on your light, they stop, and you each see in both sides of your tube like 6 or 8 of them. And like I said, your role is also sort of the success on killing them. So I think yeah, you have a wider beam set, and yeah, do you vaporize them or do you want corpses?
I think we want corpses.
Yeah, I definitely want to drag a corpse and like throw it at Eversol.
Okay.
As,
you
as-
got
so as
they're
we're
quite a ways
shooting, we
away,
have-
but
we have to do this. As we're finishing off, I'll actually be like, kind of like, yeah, take that, shouting at them as we're going,
Get some.
pretty much. And then after they finish off, I'll kind of do the Picard maneuver on my uniform a little bit, and then straighten up and go. I believe that was a rousing success, Commander.
I'm looking at the captain with some concern.
Now, what are these things? I'll like grab one by its little spindly leg and pick it up.
That I have no idea about. But let's take one with us to the cargo bay. We'll give it to the doctor.
Agreeable solution. Let's go.
all right, and I think that is about time for an intermission. So we'll be gone in 5-ish minutes.
Yeah.
So let's come back at let's call it 6 minutes and come back right on the half hour. So
Sounds
this is
good.
Star Trek Pathfinder on Kobold Cafe. And we're back. Okay, so we are going to bounce back over to what the captain has called the science team. You guys are in the cargo bay now. There are some hook spiders around, climbing on the walls. There's like maybe one that scurries across the ceiling, but they are keeping their distance because, I mean, the lights are flickering, and you are quite a bit bigger than they are.
Mm-hmm.
I should note, however, that there were a bunch of them in the Jeffries tube behind you.
Oh
Do
yeah,
you
no, I'm
close
opening up
that door?
Them.
Oh, you're shooting them. Great.
Yeah,
Go ahead and roll your control
assholes.
security.
Assholes chewing up my ship.
Oh, wow. You have a ranged weapons focus.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Control security with a double success on a 4 or better.
And I'm gonna throw in an extra momentum.
Should we clear one because we've passed some scenes?
Yeah.
Well, 3 successes.
Yeah, okay. So you fry a whole bunch of them.
That's right. Don't chew on my baby.
All right. So you are in the... Why were you going to the cargo bay again?
We're gonna find out what was happening and what they were, where these things were coming
This
from.
seems
But
like the source of the infection.
Oh, yeah.
If
Okay.
Based on all the information that we have.
If any experience from mythology can come to this, their nest might be there.
That's fair.
say, hey Doc, these things have like a queen or a nest or something?
Or what?
These things have like a nest or a queen or something?
Yes, exactly.
No, I'm asking the doctor that.
I'm the doctor. Yes, exactly.
Do they have a queen or a nest?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought they were spiders, so they had a nest. Or a web.
That's what
I mean,
Well,
Yeah,
he's asking you that, and you don't
and
know
he said
that.
yes. I think that's what he's confused. It's ever said yes in character.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Like in character, he would say like, yes, I mean a nest, not a queen, because they're spiders.
And
But-
we're heading towards it.
Yes.
Ostensibly, it might be here, even.
Yeah.
How big is the cargo room?
Big.
Big. Okay.
Big. Like high school gymnasium big.
Yeah, okay. So I am looking up and around and at the ceiling and just very cautiously walking slowly through. And
I guess I should
what
say
I'm
that
looking...
there are a lot of boxes here.
Yeah, I was going to say, are there any boxes that look like they've been kind of cracked open or that they have, like that maybe tipped over?
Yeah, there are a couple that are out of place. Like sort of jilted over, but it looks like they were actually knocked there from their positions higher up, because when you like shine up to where they were, you can see there's like 2 containers that they have like doors. These are, think like a cube, but on a scale similar to a shipping container. So they're big. They're taller than a person, right?
Right.
And the doors on them, like on 2 of the 6 facings, are up. So they're like
Oh, wow.
so they have raised.
Hmm.
Wait, what do you mean raised?
Like a garage door? No, not like
Okay,
a garage
I see what you
door,
mean.
but like, yeah. So they're normally latched at the bottom, and for whatever reason, each of these 2 crates has 2 doors that are instead like opened
And-
to where they're horizontal and sticking out from the sides.
Horizontal and sticking out from the sides. Where are these crates in relation to where I am? Like, are they above me?
They are above you.
How far?
I don't know, like 2 crates high.
Okay, so we could like they're on a second floor level or even third floor level.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Look up there. Do you think that's where they came from?
Yeah, I'd say so. Now they look like they were just like, are the doors damaged?
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Is there any like different insignias or anything on these two crates compared to the others? Or...
There are actually some markings, but you can't really see them from where you are. You'd have to climb up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So is somebody gonna climb up, or
Is this
somewhere
when we
else?
burst in?
Is there a forklift of any kind?
They're like gravity sleds, right?
Mhm.
So think of it more like a dolly or a pallet jack if you've ever seen one of those,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
except it can raise up to like one high, and it can lift basically anything because it uses
How
anti-gravity
did they
or
get them
something.
up there in the first place?
There's a crane in the ceiling.
Oh, can we crane it down, or can it not be craned when it's tipping over?
Well, it's tipped the others over. It's fine. Yeah, you could crane it, sure. Oh,
wait,
except
but
there's
that
no
would
power.
require power.
Yeah, except for
okay,
I
so
was
I
gonna
would
say.
have to get the sled. But the sled would only take us like halfway up. We'd have to climb the rest of the way, right?
Correct.
Oh, great. What if we put one sled on another sled and then
Yeah,
All right,
sure.
screw that. I'm just climbing up there and seeing what's going on.
Would that-
while the Falcon's trying to like balance two sleds on each other, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, no,
Climb up
I'm working out like since okay, I assume a gravity sled means it's like a hover sled, and like what I'm trying to think is like, would the gravitational field of one hover sled hovering above another hover sled?
Well, so I'm just climbing up there.
Yeah. So that's fitness security. Difficulty is 2, and a failure will mean that you take an injury.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
You know what? It's difficulty 3.
Yeah. I'll
We'll
just
go
put a
grab it.
momentum then.
I'll go grab a gravity sled anyway in case we have to cart this guy out.
Okay, I'll use a momentum to do 3 dice. Ah, balls.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, so I think he like gets his hand. Oh, okay. So you know what happens is you get your hand on like the bottom to pull yourself up to that crate, but whatever you grab, like
Coated with it.
no, it crushes in your hand, and suddenly your
Okay.
hand is like all slimy, and you can't get a grip, and so you fall back down. Well, I think you get 2 complications here. Oh, okay. So you get the injury complication, which is going to be
Dislocated shoulder?
5, 9, 10, 11. Isn't that vitals and GURPS?
11 is groin.
Groin.
Oh
Oh,
no.
oh!
So
I just do a.
so Tesora is like pulling the gravity sled over, and he just lands split right over the handle of the gravity sled.
Oh.
Hangs there for a second and then slides down, so he lands on top of it. And then so that's hernia. And then the other complication is you see a large like pair of hook spider legs flip over the edge above you, and one that's about 3 times the size of the other one is looking down at you.
Yeah, we woke up the queen. Or the mama. Excuse me. We woke up the mama.
Can I assist?
Yeah, I
Gonna need a
think
medic here.
yeah, let's go into ground combat, and I feel like after the first turn, the first officer and captain can join in as well. Zen
I'm really good at
and
range.
the art
I'm
of
really good at
warp
combat,
commands.
but I'm also laid out in the ground. So
All right. Battle strategy, great. Supporting characters, character development, we're getting there. Conflict. Okay. Combat tasks and minor actions. Leadership assist. Okay, that's great. Making an attack. We know that one. I just don't know. Who goes first? Oh, you know what? It's going to be the exact same it is as in Starship Combat, isn't it?
What's yeah? I don't know how initiative works. I forget.
So, unless there's a compelling reason why it wouldn't be you guys going first, you guys go first.
Oh, okay. And is it like, do we choose who goes each time? Like, is it like 3
Yeah.
player slots or something?
Exactly.
Okay. How out of it is Vivek?
He's hurt, but he's not unconscious or anything.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Well, I've got the gun. You want me to go first?
What other cargo is there around here? Do we know, or are we just seeing crates and boxes?
I mean, you can look at there's probably a description that you can trigger on each case. But yeah, it's all stored in boxes. In case of whatever, you don't want loose shit floating or flying around.
I'm looking to see. They don't like light, so that's what I was trying to see if there's anything that could produce a bright flash or something like that.
You could roll to create an advantage.
Yeah, that's what I was angling for, but I don't even know where I would source the advantage, if that makes sense.
I mean, you have a flashlight. You could just be flashing them.
Turn on strobe or something.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Okay, so what I will I have my flashlight, and I'm gonna try to maybe do something with the battery to make it just totally like strobe out and maybe blind these guys.
Awesome. I think that's control engineering.
That is control engineering,
I
and
don't see a focus.
no, but I might do a value.
Oh yeah, determination.
Yeah. So let me just pull up what my determination options are again, because
yeah.
I'm trying to make an advantage, but
But yeah, I mean that's
I suppose
you're
if I
rolling
succeed,
against.
I could make 2 advantages, right?
Yes.
Because I don't think I can. Well, I don't know. Maybe can I Vulcan nerve pinch one of these spiders? Is it even in range?
It is not in range. It is a couple of zones away.
Okay. So, if I were to use... Oh, okay. The character may immediately perform another task as soon as this one is resolved. But I don't have 2 different tasks that I can do other than help Vivek up. So I think I will just I'll just use determination to grant. Oh, I can just roll an auto one generates 2 successes. But no, I'll just make it so and apply 1 advantage, and then maybe I can apply 2 advantages.
Yeah.
But I'd have to think of what a second advantage would be. One would be that I have strobe lights blinding them, and the other one would be maybe like just general awareness of like the area so that they can't sneak up on us or something like that. So like more can't sneak up or
Well, roll and see what you get first.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. And the value I'm using is when you can't make a scratch, make an itch.
Okay.
So 2 dice.
Are you doing the auto one? Oh my god.
Oh,
no. Yeah.
Well, you got your 2
so
successes.
so no, what I was doing to make it so.
Yeah.
So that at least I get that advantage. And I'm gonna say maybe the complication is that we are also blinded. maybe Tesora blinds herself.
Yeah, no, I
Like-
think that's gonna apply to everybody.
Yeah, blinded by the light.
Yeah.
But like,
So you meant to
before I
apply
blind
to
the spiders,
them.
I definitely Wile E. Coyote myself.
Oh no, it's everybody. So that instead of being an advantage,
Okay.
it's now a trait. Well, basically, so it's not just affecting the enemies; it is now affecting everybody.
Great. That sounds awesome. And it's out of my control. Like the flashlight is just doing this now. I can't turn it off.
Awesome. Wrapped up like
yeah,
a deuce.
Yeah. And you
Yeah,
know what's
like a
actually
runner
how this is actually
dying.
happening is like I try to turn the flashlight off and I even try to throw it, but it's just like sticking to my hand.
Awesome. Okay.
There's boners in the summer, the teenage dumps with
Right. So let's. I guess it's giant hook spider's turn, and I think it's just gonna drop down on you guys since it's right above you. Who is it going to attack? I think it's going to attack the person that just attacked its eggs.
Yeah.
So apologies, but here she goes. So this is going to
Never
be a
apologize.
control security. Damn it, stop doing that. Okay. Difficulty for a melee attack is going to be in this reference sheet. Striking an enemy in hand-to-hand combat is difficulty 1. Okay, so it's going to drop from above, and as it's attacking, like, try and go against Tom or Vivek with its claws. And I'm gonna spend 2 threat to roll an extra. Oh wait, it's 1 threat to roll an extra die. You know what? It's big and scary. I am rolling 2 extra dice. That's the one from Memory Beta, and that's the closest that I got, except I don't like the mouth, and it has too many legs for me.
Anyway. I don't
Okay.
think anyone.
So here is difficulty is only 1, rolling 4 dice and attacking Tom. Well, Vivek. Oh my god!
ow.
Oh,
Oh no.
well, that's bad for it, right?
That's really bad for it. Okay.
Does it topple off the thing and just like?
Is he like caught in a web or something?
What does happen? You know
Maybe it
what?
slips
It's
off the-
too wide for the narrow little passage between the crates that Vivek fell into. and so its legs like are thrust upward, and so I'm gonna say, oh, not here we go. Hook spider injuries, lame for an injury on it, and then the other one is
Stuck.
yes.
And we can just use those, right?
Yep.
James is gonna burst in here after I do my thing, because James, we burst in. I shoot first. If I do a success, you can get my bonuses, and then you go in there and do a massive firing arc on everything.
Okay, so next is the
Okay.
3. Who Vivek or Eversoul, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'll go. What does the charge quality do? Like the phaser, can I like charge
Oh,
it up? Is that what
right.
it means?
Did I think it's in that reference.
Trying to figure out where the reference is.
It's pinned.
Ah,
Damage effects. Oh no, that's damage effects are in there, but not the weapon effects. So let me look up the charge quality. I think it gives you. Well, I'll just instead of guessing. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, while you're there, what's the stats on the phaser rifle?
I will also look at that. Oh, those are starship weapons. Calibration, devastating, high yield, versatile. Nope, charge is not there, so it's just a hand weapon. Character development. I literally just had it open to the right page, too. Okay, types of attack. Damage rating, qualities. Area. Knockdown, piercing, vicious, accurate, charge. Okay, the weapon has an adaptable energy supply, allowing its potency to be scaled to different levels. If the character performs a preparation minor action before attacking with this weapon, they may add one of the following damage effects: area, intense, piercing, or vicious. So area gives it a wider area. It can attack anything in close range to the original target. Intense is designed to inflict massive harm. The cost to avoid an injury caused by an intense weapon increases by 1 for each effect rolled. Piercing 2 just removes 2 of its resistance for every effect rolled. And Vicious 1 just does 1 additional damage for each effect rolled.
okay. And I have so I can do I can charge and then fire.
Yes, there's nothing preventing you from doing that.
Okay, then I'm gonna.
Well, aren't you still on the ground?
Yeah, but it's like laying above me, so I'm just gonna lay here and just
Yeah, okay, that's fine. If you're not getting up.
fire into it. Yeah.
So which charge effect are you using?
In intense.
Intense. Okay. Yeah. All right. So then that is difficulty for a ranged attack is 2. So this is control security. So 16 ranged weapon focus. So double success on a 4 or better.
And then I can add yeah, I'm adding a dice with a with a momentum because F this guy.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there are some things that you can do. Combat momentum spends, so you can increase the damage by 1
Mm-hmm.
per momentum, And you got, so let's see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 2 momentum to spend. So you can increase the damage. You can disarm, which in this case is literal. You can take an additional minor action, keep the initiative and pass it to Eversoul instead of letting them go. You can add the penetration. You can re-roll your damage, avoid an injury, attack another target, or take an additional task. Or you can just bank the momentum.
Maybe add to penetration.
Okay.
Is that what mine said?
So let's see. For penetration, ignores 2 resistance for each momentum spent.
I'll spend 1 on that and bank 1, I guess.
Okay. So you roll 7 dice for the phaser type 2, plus 4 more for your security for a total of, what, 11?
Mm-hmm.
11d6.
I think this is right.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you do 7 damage that penetrates 2. Plus you have 1, 2, 3, 4 effects. So the cost to, yeah, okay. So it's definitely not avoiding this injury. So it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. 2, so 6, 5. It takes 5 damage. And just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. If the character suffers 5 or more damage from a single attack, the character suffers an injury. If the character is reduced to 0 stress, it is not reduced to 0 stress, but it did take 5 or more damage. So, lame and what? I think just
Whatever.
injured?
What does in intense do again?
Means that it cannot avoid an injury, or the cost
Gotcha.
to avoid the injury increases with each effect.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way that it's not taking this injury.
Yeah.
I think it's been blasted, right?
Yeah. Get some.
Okay. All right.
Their
On
turn.
their turn, you just see like 6 or 8 of the normal-sized ones start crawling towards you from their various places in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Eversoul, your turn.
Can I try and heal Vivek with some field medicine or healing?
Yes, absolutely. So, oh, that's Vivek. Here's Eversoul. Field medicine may ignore the increase in difficulty for working without the proper tools. Task to heal injury complications. Reduce the difficulty by 1. And let's see what the normal... Other tasks. First aid. Oh.
Yeah. That's sort of what I'm picturing.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm reading the paragraph. Oh, except his his injury is from falling. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it's difficulty 2.
With what
Roll.
attribute in discipline?
Incapacitated and unable to take any minor actions or attempt any tasks for the remainder of the scene. Wow, so injuries in combat are actually pretty fucking devastating. So avoiding an injury is important. Let's remember that.
Yeah.
All right, so control medicine difficulty is normally 2. Your healing hands makes it difficulty 1.
Here I go. Oh,
Boom. All right, what are you doing with the extra momentum?
can I find a weakness on this specimen?
No, it would have to be something in regards to the roll you just made. So, Vivek somehow.
Please. Please don't find a
could
weakness in my
I-
crotch.
Could I not only heal them up completely, but like give them a boost? Like maybe hit them with an adrenaline booster?
I like it. Yeah. Okay. So, that's perfect.
That's the good stuff.
Okay. So its turn.
It's got
But
like what,
it's-
2 injuries now?
Yeah, I don't think you need to. Well, oh. You know what? The other ones are getting into a position to drop, so they'll be on or around you on their next turn. It's just kind of sitting there and struggling to get its feet, in a position where it can move itself. And I think we hear some like phaser shots from outside, and the commander and captain come in shooting at a stack of what the little hook spiders behind them, and then they slam the door closed and turn around, and then suddenly they see the big one and all the little ones about to fall.
Okay.
The cavalry's here.
I'll shoot him. The little ones.
The little ones, okay. Hold on just a second here.
If you go for an AoE.
I mean, like, I got the nice rifle.
Okay. Boom. So the damage is 4. Accurate and charge.
What does accurate do?
Yeah.
I do not know.
Oh, is that the stats for the phaser?
That is the stats for the phaser rifle.
How do you actually mark this?
Okay. Accurate. Weapon is especially precise, incorporating additional sights. If the character performs the aim minor action before making the attack, then any number of d20s may be re-rolled instead of the normal benefits of aiming, which I think is 1.
All right. Well, I need to blast the hell out of these guys, so I'm just going to. What's the difficulty on it? 2?
2. Hold on though, because if you take a minor action, you can either aim, which will let you re-roll, or charge, which will let you add my suggestion would be the area.
Oh yeah, I'll charge then.
The attack automatically affects any character or damageable object within reach of the initial target, and then one additional target within close range of the initial target. So basically, all the little ones are within close range. So for each effect, you attack another one, and I said there were 8. So you charge it up for a wide angle, and then so it's control security.
This wouldn't be daring. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Control security.
Control security with no focus. Difficulty is 2.
All right. Well, I'm gonna burn one. Oh, can I burn one of the scenes aspects? Okay.
No, they're not. Those give make things easier or harder.
Okay. Did blinded by the light make it easier?
Well, blinded by the light makes things harder for everybody.
Okay. Well, I'll burn one then to roll 3.
Okay, and the difficulty is going to be 3 because of blinded by the light. And you're shooting at the little one, so that's not offset by caught like a fly. So difficulty is 3. And what did we say it was? 14 or better, double success on a 1.
All right. Don't screw this up, Dara.
There's 2. But you need 3.
Well, since it is the wide, wouldn't the blinded by the light, or not blinded by the light, caught by like a fly come into effect?
That's the big one. You weren't shooting at the big one.
You're right. Damn it.
The only other thing you could do would be use determination to re-roll the entire thing.
I mean, I was hoping to save my determination for one of my things, so I guess I just missed then. Cause
Okay.
suck.
They start dropping down in the midst of the other 3. And now it's one of your guys' turns. The other 4.
Can I take it?
Yeah?
I literally just want to start. I want to create an advantage. Like covering fire or something. Like my aim is more to get them to back away from the other 3.
They're kind of in the... They're mixed in now. They just dropped down, like, into the group. So there's not a way to, like, drive them back selectively.
Okay. Then I guess in that case I will take a shot at whichever one looks like it might be the most dangerously threatening to the group.
Well, there's one that's, like, 4 times or 5 times the size of all the others.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna shoot the hell out of that one.
So that'd
Okay.
be difficulty 1 then, because it has 2 minuses on it.
It has 2 minuses on it, and there's 1 minus on Tanjat, so that's... Those cancel each other out. So yeah, yep, it's 1. If you want to take a minor action, you can either aim and re-roll all of, or any of your rolls, any of your dice, or you can add one of those damage effects that we were talking about. Area, vicious, piercing.
Let's go piercing.
Piercing, okay.
Yeah.
I should have done that. I'm giving him a thing. I'm stupid.
And then can I spend a momentum to get the automatic 1?
No. You
No?
spend a momentum to get an extra die. You spend a determination to get the
Oh,
additional one. And you already spent your determination and haven't earned any back yet.
don't I have 3?
No, you have one,
a
and then
max
you
of
can
3.
get.
Oh.
He can like push you to like be can be like, oh, yeah, this determination is getting activated, or
Okay.
this thing is getting activated. You want to take that determination? But he has
Okay.
not done that. This.
Well, I will take the extra dice.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
And I'm sorry, what am I rolling again? Daring
Difficulty
security?
is control security.
Control security. Okay. So,
So
14.
14. There's 1, 2, 3. So you get 2 additional momentum, and the phaser rifle does.
Damage 4.
Oh, so when I put in the type 2, I automatically. Well, I had Vivek roll 4 too many dice. That makes sense. Okay. 4
think
plus
you
your
have
security,
8,
so you roll 8
Trey.
dice. And you get piercing 2 for every effect. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage, and 4 piercing, which is all of its. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage. Yeah, so you vaporize it. And it makes a horrible noise that kind of causes all of the other ones to scurry away.
Mm-hmm.
And so you
That's
have a
right,
moment of
bitches.
respite.
Well, I get up.
Yeah, I'll come hustling over to the other group like status report.
Anyone else need healing?
These bugs came out of those crates and looks like they might have been intentionally put there because the crates opened. You know, they weren't damaged. The crates opened.
Hmm.
Do you think
Also,
they
I
could
feel great.
have?
Oh yeah, do
Do
you
you think-
want to try and climb back up there again?
I'm.
I don't think so. Somebody else can try.
I think it's Tanjat y'all should send to do on
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay.
I'm picking off little bugs, but
13 or better. I think survival will actually apply here, so double success on a 4 or better.
Why did I do that? I did not mean to do that. Shit.
You can't quite get up there.
I'm murdering the last little ones, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, you can see them. You guys can blast them pretty easily.
yeah,
But-
that's what I'm doing.
Can I kind of spend a minute just restacking things to?
Yeah, actually, it'd be pretty easy to use the gravity sleds to move the
Mhm.
crates around, so you can just basically have a giant staircase.
Yeah.
Do some
I
old
do- I
school
do that.
platforming.
All
Like,
right.
I try to climb, go like, yeah, that's dumb, and then like move some crates around.
Yeah. All right. So you scramble up there, and you're looking into a pair of like normal cubic shipping crates that are full of spider eggs. One of them is smashed. The spider eggs are, I mean, smaller than an ostrich egg, but bigger than a Komodo dragon egg.
Okay. Sure. I will relay that. Like, hey, I got a case up here with spider eggs in it. What
2
are the eggs?
cases.
Yeah, so
Two
if you have
cases.
2 cases full of spider
Where are those
eggs,
two from?
wouldn't that imply that there's still another queen out here?
I mean, what one of the eggs looks like it's hatched?
No, it's
No, that's the one that
smashed.
I accidentally grabbed.
I mean,
Oh.
unless they took all of the eggs from one queen, stuffed it in one container, and then stuffed the second container with the queen and more eggs. But it stands to reason that they simply stuffed 2 queens in the boxes and they each laid eggs.
On the comms. Are they insane?
There are no comms.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
we need to
screaming
figure
on
out the
the
power
You're in the room.
situation.
You're right
Are
here.
they insane?
All right. Well, we will keep that in mind, Tesora. Thank you for your indisputable Vulcan logic.
I asked, hey, Tanjad, does it say where those two came from? Like, were they marked?
I grabbed the cases and I tossed them down.
That they're like 8 feet square.
They're like shipping container kind of things.
Oh, okay.
Clang.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sure. I look for markings.
Yeah, the Rapu Corporation
Of
Those
course.
logo is
motherfuckers.
stamped on both.
Who's the Rapu again?
The ones who drop the
Jacques.
triples.
Oh, right. Huh.
Rapu, I say Jacques.
Can I actually science to figure out, like, do these spiders, like, can I tell how long it's been since an egg was laid? Like, do I know enough about their life cycles, or is that a medicine thing?
I feel like that's more medicine than science.
Can I help with that?
Yeah,
Or do it, rather.
Well,
I think
if you ask him, maybe he can answer.
reason, medicine.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was bringing up before. Like, is it more reasonable to assume that that there was only one queen and that they put just a whole bunch of eggs in 2 containers, or were these things laid 3 days ago in sealed containers? Or actually, are there markings on 2 containers? And are the markings on the inside?
The markings are on the outside, but it's the Rapu Consortium.
Oh, I meant markings in terms of like scratches. Do we still know how these things got out?
Oh, yeah, they're on both.
I'm pretty sure they were on a timer.
Oh, okay.
In the meantime, your captain's screaming, shooting leftovers.
So, does somebody want to make a roll so we can determine if there's a second queen out there? Please.
How difficult would it be to make that roll?
Difficulty 1.
Here goes 2 rolls. No momentum.
Ooh, nice.
I gain 1. Could I ask how many queens are on the ship?
Well, so let me just tell you right off the bat. This is not a species that you would expect to have a queen. So your guess is that they just continue to grow over time, and that was one of the oldest ones.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
So they have a nest instead of a queen. Haha.
Correct. All right. You can still ask a question if you'd like. Otherwise, you can just bank that and we'll move on.
Yeah.
Is this the main nest?
Yes.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I would like to just tell to everyone as loud as I can. This seems to be the main nest.
Thank you, Doctor Obvious.
You're
Like,
welcome.
yeah, adrenaline. I'm like, yeah, awesome. Let's. You want to save one of the eggs, or should we just, start popping these guys?
And the tribbles. Go on. I don't know how they make it.
Well, I mean, particularly know how well just popping them is gonna work. We need a decontamination. Like, we need to get.
We need to hire a full-time exterminator.
No, we need to get everybody into.
So are things sort of settled here in the cargo bay?
Yes.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna
I
start
was going to say, how do we
gathering my team and patching EPS conduits, and
What
But-
team?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Crawl through the corridors to engineering?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going alone?
Or sorry, actually, I'm like, hey, so do we?
I think he's
What's-
asking, is the
What's
adventure
next,
over?
box?
No, the adventure's not over. The ship has no
Okay.
power. There's a ton of
Yeah.
Hook spiders?
Yeah,
Well,
Talarian hook spiders in your Jeffries tubes.
Mhm.
Did you
Yeah,
bring any more
we-
weapons?
Yeah. So I
Can
ask we can.
can we seal and vent Jeffrey's tubes?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's
Yeah, but we need power for that.
like.
Also, people are probably using them to like traverse the ship right now, so we don't want to space any of our guys.
Yeah.
Colin.
No. I.
Question.
Yeah.
The life support's still operating, right?
Yes, but it's working less well back here.
All right. And respirators, there are respirators in the engineering, right?
Yeah. I feel like those are in emergency lockers spread throughout the whole ship.
All right. Doctor, could
Yes,
you
Captain.
get us a big vat of knockout gas? I think it's Thorazine gas. I don't remember what the hell it is.
Tetrazine.
Tetrazine. Tetrazine gas?
What do I need to roll for that?
To synthesize it, it's actually going to be science, probably.
Science.
Control science at a replicator with power.
So that's 16. How many success do I need?
You also need a replicator with power. Can we?
We should just all go
Do we have
together
power?
to the power place. The
Engineering.
engineering. Let's just all go together to engineering, get Vivek there, and then get comms back online, and then from there we can figure out this mess.
They're
We
still
should-
gonna. I agree, let's go to engineering, but we have to knock these things out before they cause more damage. How close is engineering?
Close.
All right, to engineering. I toss out one of the rifles that we brought with us. Oh wait, no, never mind, because that adds more threat.
I had my finger over the trigger. Okay.
I will toss out the phasers we brought with us.
Can I use a visor?
Yeah. Everybody
like
now
the
has the phaser that's on their character sheet. You might see a couple of the small spiders between here and engineering, but not in the size of group that would make it difficult.
Okay. Well, they're dying. So.
Yeah. All right. So you get to engineering, and power's there. So the nice thing about engineering is since the power is generated from the warp core,
Mhm.
there's not the power doesn't go through the Jeffries tube. So you have full power and access to the ship's systems mostly.
All right,
And
make us some
now we can
Thorazine
replicate,
gas.
yeah.
I'll start working to it as I tell the captain. Captain, whatever we do, we should support command Commander Vivek. Mostly because I am not aware until how long his body is gonna, well, drain off the adrenaline. And
Oh, this is a
we're
new
not
scene.
working.
It's already
Yeah,
drained.
Oh,
we're
okay.
fine.
Okay.
There's no
Then
crash
we
or
should.
anything. Just
I thought that in any moment you were gonna just like, oh, I'm out of adrenaline. Goodbye.
no. This is space adrenaline. Just kind of wears off.
Woo.
Okay, so ever roll control science. So that's a 16 or better. No focus.
How many successes?
Just one.
Hiya.
Boom.
Nice.
You've been
Is that 4?
3.
3.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you have a large quantity of tetrazine gas.
Here you go, Captain.
Tom, did you want to roll to try and restore communications?
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be control engineering. Focus on computers doesn't quite apply. Transporters, warp engines. No, not quite. So normal, so it's success on 1. Difficulty is 2 at base, but I'm sure you have something to make it better, right?
I can. Is the ship gonna help with this one?
Oh,
The ship help.
no, the ship does not help.
Okay. Yeah. Cause. Okay. Well, I know my ship's for determining the source of a problem, so no, I think it's
Just 2?
yeah, just 2. But I'll throw in a momentum in.
That's fair. All right, 3 dice. 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that going back, and yeah, so you restore communications throughout the ship.
Captain, you have the we have communications back.
Crew, this is the captain. We have an infestation of hook spiders. We are going to gas the ship, so I would suggest putting on respirators immediately and arming yourselves.
I ask Eversol, hey, is this like gonna affect the spiders?
Ever?
I mean,
He made it on.
He is
will
muted.
it?
Yeah, they probably breathe, right? They must breathe.
Mhm.
Yeah, it will affect the spiders.
Okay. I just didn't want us to like start filling the place with gas for no reason.
Should we still be avoiding the elevators?
I mean, for now, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We might want to announce that.
Also, avoid the following things, and I'll list off all the things we know that are effective. But let's gas the bastards.
Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna make you roll. You are able to knock out any spiders on board by just filling the entire ship with anesthetine gas, tetrazine gas. No, it's anesthetine, isn't it?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Something.
And then
I
what?
thought it was Terrace. Not mine.
What do you do after you fill the ship with gas?
Oh, we murder them?
Just go through the whole ship with phasers?
Yeah, the crew. Just that's the job for the next couple hours.
Okay.
We could like vent them. I mean,
And then Vivek fixes the ship.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, it takes all in all the ship is stopped for like 18 or 20 hours.
Mhm.
But you get back underway. You're a little low on like whatever you use to replace a broken chunk of EPS conduit,
Mhm.
but
Space duct tape.
yes, but you do fix it all. Spiders were entirely eradicated. No, I bet you one or two might survive somewhere in the Jeffries tubes.
Well, that's just fun for later.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Okay. So that's about it. I think you guys show up a little bit later than uh the people of Europe 3 would have liked,
Mm-hmm.
but you do get the supplies there.
We can like kind of punch the gas a bit.
Yeah, that's literally, I think, everything going on. So there's still probably going to be a couple of hook spiders in the Jeffries tubes for whenever somebody has to go in there in the future. Vivek, you did lose two engineering crewmen
Mm-hmm.
in the first group, but everybody else on the ship was okay.
Yeah.
Wait a second. When we say lose, you mean killed?
Yes.
They died? They dead?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We need to probably start organizing some kind of report about this so that like we can get clearance to take action against this Rapu corporation.
Oh yeah.
Because
This is
at
definitely
this
getting
point they've killed two of our mans.
Can I clone anyone?
No.
No.
That is so against.
Yeah.
I
No.
wasn't sure if that's Star Trekky. stuff.
You could clone someone. It is in the canon. They won't
Yes.
want you to do it.
Yeah. It's very, very frowned upon. But
Oh, we had Dr. Krieger all of here all of a sudden.
Not that kind of doctor. Not any kind of doctor, actually. Okay. So after you drop the supplies off at Europe 3, and I think you send the report off. Yeah, so they're proceeding under diplomatic channels to see what can be done since it's flagged under a different, a different company, a different race, a different nation, whatever. Like, they have to go through the Orions to be able to agree to any sort of action against the Rapu. Additionally, the Admiral approves leave. He directs you to a nearby planet. Maganda is the name of the planet. It's another week or two away, but it's hosted several Federation ships over the years for leave. It's just supposed to be a really nice planet. So everybody on the ship is kind of excited, especially after dealing with an infestation of 2-meter large spiders, to have some time off. Final scene. Where do we want to go? I think I want to end the same way I began, and that's with the commander and the captain. So what are you guys doing?
Oh, it's dinner night.
Okay.
So who's the other one?
Who is the other one? It was Tesora last time.
It doesn't have to
Sanja?
be a bridge crew. It could be another.
Oh,
I'm bringing that that one lady, the one the
Have it be
science
another
lady.
player.
Okay. Then Vivek, I guess.
okay,
Is
I
it
was gonna.
still affected by adrenaline?
No.
Although I was kind of imagining the credits of this one be like crawling through Jeffrey's tubes trying to find the last couple spiders.
They're always going to be in there. You can never get
Yeah,
rid of
no,
all the
no.
spiders.
Yeah, no, so yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
We're gonna need to burn down the ship.
So the bullion, what does he bring out? Oh God.
Please have it be applesauce something.
No. It's
Aw.
it's roasted hook spider.
Okay.
Got a lot of them. That's right. Who's eating who now, bitch?
Yeah, and so he eat it like crab.
Mhm.
He's like I tried some myself before just to make sure, and it's actually quite succulent. And he like just breaks off one of its four legs, and snaps it in half, and like hands one half of it because each piece is like almost a half meter long. So he hands half of it to each of the captain and the captain's wife.
Mhm.
And she doesn't hesitate. She starts like sucking the meat out of it until you can hear the air whistling into the back as she's completely sucked out the insides.
I'll do the same actually, but a little bit more dignified.
Oh God.
It's good. It's rich. It's really rich, but it doesn't taste bad.
Before you finish, add this to the replicator. Uh,
Pattern
Index.
database or whatever.
pattern database.
Okay.
The
He's
replicator-
beaming.
Flop.
Mhm.
The replicator can make anything, right? It's not just food.
Correct. As long as it has the pattern loaded.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Oh shit!
As-
Yeah, right. Oh no, Tesora's not there. Okay.
No, but if I could have somebody deliver a present for the captain, and it's fine if it's the counselor.
Sure.
There is a box, and it is wrapped, and it just says to the captain from Tesora.
Okay.
Okay.
And when you open it, it's one of these.
One of what?
Oh my god.
Oh my gods.
For those of
Uh,
you that can't see the Discord, it's one of those beer helmets that you put a couple of beers in at a baseball game, and it's got the straw that runs down to your mouth.
Don't forget that it has got a red cross and says thirst aid.
Okay.
I will look at it confused and set it down, and I'll go like lean over to the wife and say, "Do you know what that is?"
She like holds it upside down and like puts the straw in the helmet. She's like, I think it's for soup.
All right. I look at it confused and then, but like shake my head a little bit and then look over at the commander. Are you eating? Are you guys eating the
Oh
stuff?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I am chowing.
This little shit tried to eat my ship. I mean,
As after we start downing the thing, I will look at you all and go, from now on, we will be only our crew will be moving supplies on the
Yeah.
ship.
That seems like a wise judgment.
yeah, I'm gonna have to add these to the transporter buffers too. The to the decontamination.
Well, I think these were moved on like
yeah,
via
yeah,
the
but
pylon.
in case they get in case, just in case.
All the protections. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of eating. I don't. I actually no. I look over at the captain like, you held it together well out there, Captain.
I'll just say, of course I did. You did well yourself.
Yeah.
And I put on a placating little like grin nod. You know, the cordial I have to like you because you're a coworker nod.
Okay. I think that's the end. Okay, well
Yeah.
this one ran slightly longer than the others. We'll have to make it. Oh wait, no, it ran exactly as long. I was just stalling for time to get Tanjat to show up for the first scene. So
Yep.
actually, that was perfect. Okay. Right. So this has been Star Trek Pathfinders in the Modifius Star Trek Adventures rule set. I was Colin, the GM, and in order of I don't care, we had Everoth.
Hello, I was your triple loving and spider hating doctor, Aversoul. Glad to have you.
And we had Tara.
I am Tara. Thanks for watching and all that jazz. Yeah, I
And
played the captain.
we had Tom.
Yep. Commander Vivek, the chief engineer, and now Spider Slayer.
Yeah, don't be too proud of yourself. You also got a hernia.
Yeah, I also landed on
Daniel.
my crotch, but you know.
I've been to Zora. I'll be in the holodeck.
And James.
Hey, I'm James. I played Tanjat, and we'll see how things go with the captain.
All right. So we run games several days a week at this point. You can find our schedule at thekoboldcafe.com. If you're watching this, you're probably getting it through Twitch. That's twitch.tv/koboldcafe. We're also on Twitter at Kobold Cafe. And where else? YouTube, but you have to search for Kobold Cafe because we don't have a vanity URL.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Like
so
and subscribe to get us our vanity plate.
yeah. Tomorrow night will be... What's tomorrow night? Null Space?
No space.
In GURPS 4th edition. And maybe on Sunday, Zombies?
I don't think so this week, but something will be happening at the very least. We'll let you know tomorrow.
Fair enough. All right. So this has been Star Trek Adventures Pathfinder,